Hi guys and welcome back to Crypto Chester. My name is Chester and today I'll be walking you through the crypto markets. First things first, we're going to be starting off with the short term for Bitcoin, then a mid term for Bitcoin, and then straight to the long term for Bitcoin, right? And then once we've done that, we'll be jumping across into some altcoins. So if you've got any altcoins there, dump them in the chat now and I'll get to them once I've finished up with Bitcoin. Straight into the chat, there is harsh shit there. Nice to see you, bro. Nice to see you returning on the stream there. Hope you had a good bank holiday weekend. If you are from England, my guy out there. But yeah, let me just jump straight into the TA there. Let's start off with Bitcoin on the short term here. As discussed in a potential the video I did on Sunday morning, right? As discussed in the live I did on Sunday morning, we were looking at a potential long position from this crucial horizontal support point at that 34,178, right? We did get in a nice long there, and I took a nice level of profit at around this downward sloping resistance line here. So it worked out to be around that 4-5% mark, which wasn't too bad indeed. Not too bad indeed. And then we did see a falling wedge pattern playing out on the short term there, but that's obviously been taken over now by these dominant levels of resistance lines coming down. But as you can see, we do have this this pretty big symmetrical triangle, right? Pretty big symmetrical triangle playing out on a few of the time frames here, So this is definitely a pretty crucial point to watch. The reason why it's a crucial point to watch here is because if we break to the upside, we could be looking at a little measure move to the upside, right? And that could be looking something along the lines of this, right? We could be looking at a potential measure move to the upside, which could mean we're looking for a nice long trade, right? Obviously on the basis that we're going to get over these lower highs coming through on that massive downtrend. Crucial point, as I've stressed about so many times, right, is a really crucial point that we do get over that point, right? So if we are going to be looking at breaking to the upside, finding a nice little support on the 200 here on the hourly for Bitcoin. Ideally, before that, we need to find heavy support where we're currently testing at the moment. Heavy support at this 36,600 mark. If we find support there and progress up, we would be looking at a next target of the 200 moving average here. But as you can see, we are continuously testing it, right? We're continuously testing it. And if we're continuously testing it, we're not finding enough momentum to the upside, it's only a matter of time before we lose it, right? It's only a matter of time before we lose it. So it's quite interesting that we have tested it near enough 4 or 5 times along this horizontal support line at this point. So a part of me is thinking, right, we could actually lose it at this point, right? Because the more tests, the more chance of it coming down, right? So if we imagine on the basis that we do lose it in the next hour or so, because so far on this hourly open, we have actually dumped quite a significant amount in terms of like $100 or something along those lines. The next level of support would be to bounce off this price action channel, right? We would be to bounce off this price action channel. And if we are to lose that, I mean, this 55 is strong, right? We know the 55 is strong, and we know we primarily hold it. And we know we can primarily find a nice level of support on it. So ideally, that would be the next level of support. But if not, if we do lose that and we do see a pretty dirty downwards candle to the downside, right, we would be looking at a potential bounce point in this grey box zone that we've got coming through here, right? In this grey box zone that we can see, we currently do find quite a lot of support continuously, so that would be a potential point for some consolidation there. If we are to lose that, I would be saying that we are going to see the bottom side of the symmetrical triangle. I don't think we're going to lose it from there, because if we lose it from there, then we are going to be eradicating these higher lows coming up here, and that's basically going to be pretty bad for us indeed. I don't think we're going to lose it there. I think worst case scenario, we're going to bounce it around this 34,500 mark, and unfortunately, it does correlate pretty well with the monthly time frame, right? With the monthly time frame and this 10 moving average coming down here, right? And ideally, because as you can see here, we have just pretty much opened, well, literally, we have just opened the monthly candle here. So likely scenario, if we are looking for that progression to the upside, we're likely to see a bit of a retrace and then a bounce to the upside for that, because that's just what healthy candles do, right? Yeah, back to the short term for now, right? As you can see, yeah, you're gonna have to bear with me in my voice. I've got my wisdom teeth coming through, and it's just agony. But yeah, so as you can see here, as I was just saying, symmetrical triangle playing out. If we are looking for that pump to the upside, if we do see finding level of support on the top side of this symmetrical triangle coming through, we would be looking at a measure move, right? A measure move in terms of a long trade. In terms of percent, we would be looking at 9%. But as I just said, these lower highs coming through down here in terms of this downtrend that we've got coming through here, these lower highs coming through, we would be looking at take profits all the way along there. So that would be a take profit at around this point there, and potentially another take profit at around that point there, just because we know we're going to find heavy resistance there, even think about eradicating these lower highs coming down there. So in terms of percentages, right, for that trade, it would be looking something along the lines of 6.61%. Obviously, depending on where we're going to break along this symmetrical triangle, if we do break and we do find a level of support on this 200. and smash through the resistance of this top side of the symmetrical triangle here. Also, we do have a horizontal resistance point sat at 37,700 as well to think about. So in terms of a little reflection here, we do have a lot of resistance to the upside in terms of breaking through and hopefully finding support there. But as you can see, live on air, we are dumping, right? We're dumping. We've smashed through this horizontal support point at 36,575. Now, essentially coming resistance. When we come back up to it, if we find enough resistance off it, as I said, we could be looking at coming to this 55, which we're doing literally live right now, okay? Ideally, we don't hold this. Ideally, we hold the 55 and we can bounce from there. Setting a higher low, another higher low there, but worst case scenario, as I said there, we would be looking at potential target of this grey box zone to the downside, and then potentially even the lower side of the symmetrical triangle. But as I said, I don't think we're going to break to the downside in terms of the symmetrical triangle anytime soon, right? In terms of what's happening on the RSI right now, we did get actually overextended, right? We did get overextended near enough just around this point when we when we touched the top side of the symmetrical triangle coming through. So that's why we obviously had this sell-off, and that's why we've seen that retracement in the price there on the short term. We are plummeting right now off a cliff, deep sea diving. We are deep sea diving. Everyone is selling. What is happening live right now? 36,200, all the way from 36,400. Very, very quick stuff indeed. We've lost the 55, literally pretty imminently. Lost the 55. As I said, we're looking for a target of this 35,600 for a bounce from there if we don't find a nice level of support at the end of this hourly candle close on the 55 here, right? But back to the RSI. As you can see, we're pretty central right now. So that's an initiation that it's an indication. I'm about to sneeze. It's an indication that we could be going up or down, right? We could be going up and down. We can't really take a gauge from it because we're not overbought, we're not oversold, so it's quite hard to take a gauge from that in terms of predicting the buying and selling power right now. But crucial thing on the MACD here on the midterm, you can see this dominant level of support that we have playing out continuously on the MACD here. Dominant level of support, you can see it playing out on the MACD here. So ideally, we're looking for a bounce. Ideally, we're looking for a bounce on this point. If we can hold a nice level of support here, that would be the ideal scenario. And then we do reclaim this 55 again and see that progression to the upside. See that bullish crossover coming through on the MACD there. And then we see a progressionary uptrend from there. But I wouldn't be too excited because, as you can see, we do have a trend cycle coming down like this, right? Trend cycle coming down like this. And that is kind of an initiation that the next uptrend isn't going to be so strong, right? It's not going to be so strong. These usually come in little waves of 3, right? Usually waves of 3. Sometimes it can be significantly more, as we are demonstrating here. Sometimes it can be significantly more, but definitely something to consider in terms of a resistance line when we have that uptrend in terms of a trend reversal on the live price of Bitcoin on the short term, right? But yeah, definitely something to think about. But at this point in time, for this dump that we're seeing here, I would be crucially watching this point here. If we do see that trend, we could spill over, right? I'm not saying we're not going to spill over, but we could see that trend spill over. We've almost lost the support. Yes, sir, we have. Yes, sir, we have. Hopefully we don't, and hopefully we hold it. As you can see, we are coming back to that 55, and hopefully we do claim that. But I'll be jumping to the midterm in a sec, and we'll have a look and see what that's doing. See what this price action has done to that midterm there. But yeah, hopefully we can hold this level of support on the MACD here. That would be ideal for that basically a bullish crossover after that in terms of these moving averages here, and then we'll see that uptrend forming. But as I said, we are going to see resistance here. It's not going to be the biggest uptrend you've ever seen in your life. We're probably not going to be setting higher highs in terms of the MACD here. It's probably just going to be a fizzle out on this horizontal resistance line coming through at 36,564. So that's what I would be looking at like a short-term target if we are to find support on this 55. If we are going to fall, this would be the bounce point for me. At around that 35,600 there. Definitely something to consider when trading Bitcoin on the short term, right? Definitely something to consider. But yeah, in terms of just did a little summary on there. But yeah, watch this price at this point in time. Crucial level of support that we need to basically reclaim is that 36,589 if we are going to look at that progression to the upside, or even consider testing the 200 moving average or the top side of the symmetrical triangle playing out here, right? Straight to the midterm for Bitcoin, right? Straight to the midterm for Bitcoin here. As you can see, obviously we do have those other chart patterns coming through, as you can see here. But straight for the midterm, we do have a nice channel. Well, it's not nice. It's coming down. It's a falling channel. It's not very nice at all. We want it to be going up. We want it to be breaking to the upside. But as you can see, we're not breaking to the upside anytime soon. We've got a lot of resistance to the top side here that we do need to break. We're currently sat in between. We're currently sat in between this horizontal level of support at 36,070 and also this horizontal level of resistance at 37,330, right? So we are looking at potentially bouncing off this 21 and this 10 moving average coming here, holding this level of support that we've got coming through here at that 36,000, as I just said, and potentially looking at a bounce from there, correlating maybe with the 55 coming down and this horizontal point of resistance, and potentially seeing some sideways action from there. So it's definitely something to consider and to take into account when trading Bitcoin on the midterm there, because it does look like we are going to have a bit of a consolidation period if we aren't going to lose any of these major levels of supports and resistance, right? If we are to lose, as I said, if we are to lose this horizontal level of support currently, as I said, we are potentially looking at coming down, testing this box zone first, and then we'll be looking at the lower side of this symmetrical triangle playing out. And I mean, to be honest, it's not the end of the world, right? It's not the end of the world, because after that, we could be seeing some sort of consolidation period like that, and then the break to the upside, basically gathering enough momentum to get through these crucial points here, get through these crucial points of resistance here. So, I mean, it's not the end of the world if we are to see us consolidating, but the worst case scenario for us right now is taking out this higher low that we've got coming through here. If we take out this higher low at this 34,500 mark, if we take that out and we go below it and we get a candle close around 34,000 there, we're screwed. We're absolutely screwed. And then the next target to the downside would be that 33K yet again. But I can see a bounce point primarily above this point ideally, so we don't eradicate the higher low here. We set another higher low, and then it basically indicates that we're having some sort of nice little uptrend forming there. That's the ideal scenario if we are going to keep dumping here. But yeah, worst case, we'll be taking out this higher low here and eradicating it, because we do need to see that upwards momentum, and that would basically kill a lot of the upwards momentum. In terms of what's happening right now, we are dumping. We are dumping, and we are testing this 36,070 mark. Oh no, just pulled back, very nice indeed. But yeah, as you can see on the RSI, we do have this downward sloping resistance line, right? We have a downward sloping resistance line, which we primarily respect. And if you're a follower of this channel, you'll know, yes, Ivo, what you saying, my dog? As you know, if you're on this channel continuously, you do know that we do primarily respect this downward sloping resistance line, as I do reference it quite a lot and use it as quite a good indication of where the price is going to go. And as you can see, we have played it out again, right? We have played it out again in terms of this downward sloping resistance line, finding that resistance, and it correlated perfectly with the 55 and this horizontal resistance point at that 37,300 there. So as you can see, that is why we're having this sell-off power now. If we do see a level of support being formed at that 36,070 mark, as we're currently testing with all our might there, if we're currently testing it with all our might, we could see a potential reversal in the buying power and then a retest of this downward sloping resistance line. If we can get a break on that, then I'm bullish indeed, very bullish indeed in terms of buying power to the upside, and that could mean we are going to potentially come up and test this downward sloping resistance line of the top side of this falling price channel that we got coming through here. But as I said, worst case scenario, we are going to see heavy resistance here. We are going to lose this high low that we got forming here. And we could be looking at a really low point of testing the lower side of this falling channel here. But in order for that to happen, as I said, we do need to break this level of support at that 33,000. And then, as I said before, a bounce point that I would be looking for would be this volume weighted ATR one coming through. And that does correlate on, what time frame is it? It correlates on the 12-hour, I do believe, that we saw a lovely bounce. No, not quite. I think it might be the 4-hour. But yeah, guys, I hope you had an amazing bank holiday here. If you are in England, I'm not sure if the bank holiday runs across the world or into the other countries and stuff. But yeah, weather in England, very, very hot indeed, very, very nice. And I got absolutely burnt, right? Absolutely burnt. Can't even wear shoes. My feet are so burnt. Awful. I'm staying inside today. But yeah, absolute low point here would be that volume weighted ATR in terms of a bounce, and that is that 31,192 zone. Worst case, we wick over, we tap the lower side of this falling channel here. And obviously, for that to happen, we're going to need some colossal dumpage, right? Some absolute colossal dumpage, 16% indeed. And if that is to happen, I'm not going to say that we're not going to see some mad panic sell-off like we did see with this insane wick here. This absolutely insane, dirty wick to the downside here. So if we are looking at that, we could be seeing something along the lines of this. Oh, my wisdom teeth are killing me. Good to see you here, Ivo. Hello, Mark, as well. Hey, bro, like the stream, nice content. What's a good low realistic? Can't read. What's a good low realistic target for Crow? 3 to 5 cents too low. I'll just finish up on Bitcoin and then I'll jump to crypto.com for you there, Mark. But yeah, absolute. I really want to find that bounce point that I was looking at. Yeah, as you can see here, yeah, it was a bounce point here in terms of a low for the volume weighted ATR band there on the midterm. So I would be looking at a potential long position on the 12-hour. Is it the daily? yeah, the daily. As you can see here on the daily, right? As you can see here on the daily, we did see that absolutely lovely bounce, right? So next time we do see that colossal dump to the downside, even if we see that panic sell, I would be looking at a long from this volume weighted ATR band at around that 29 cents, right? Sorry, $29,000. Right? Hello, Tom. Good to see you back on the stream, Mo. Good to see you back on the stream, man. Yeah, thank you ever so much for returning. you know the drill. But yeah, guys, if you're liking the stream, smash that thumbs up. Helps me out tremendously. Obviously, I am a new YouTuber, and like the guys who are currently here, they obviously know that, right? But yeah, so I do need those help with those algorithms. Sariga, good morning to you, sir. Good morning to you, sir, as well. And guys, you are gonna have to excuse me a bit if my tongue's a bit. If I can't get my words out properly, I do have all my wisdom teeth come through at the same time, and I'm in absolute agony even speaking. But content, right? Gotta get you guys updates and all that stuff, and I do enjoy going live. So you're just gonna be see me drinking a hell of a lot more H2O, right? But yeah, in terms of the long term for Bitcoin right now, as you can see, it might look quite confusing right here. As you can see, these are measure moves, right? So let me get rid of these for a sec. And get rid of these measure moves for a sec, and then we'll basically just see. As you can see, we do have a symmetrical triangle playing out here, right? Symmetrical triangle playing out here, looking very good indeed. And that's in the terms of where the price got to and where we found that live resistance, right? Not on those candle closes, right? On the candle closes, we're looking at basically a descending triangle, right? We're looking at a descending triangle to the downside here, and currently we are looking at basically holding that resistance from the top side, right? We're holding that resistance from the top side and falling below this 10 moving average on the daily, right? So worst case scenario, we are going to basically get to this 34,400, 500 mark, as I said in the title of the stream here. That is the worst case scenario, and we could basically bounce from there, right? Ideally, we bounce from there. If we don't bounce from there, then it's not good indeed. We could be looking at a potential measure move to the downside here. And look, it does kind of correlate perfectly with the volume weighted ATR band here. So that's another indication for a potential bounce, potential long position there. But if we are to lose this this descending triangle coming through here, I would be looking at a short position, right? There's not a lot of resistance there in terms of this is a pretty open space, right? Pretty open space. Yes, we do have wicks down there, but we don't really have a lot going on in terms of horizontal resistance lines. Like we could plot a few in where we wick down to, right? Where we wick down to. So we are going to probably see a bit of consolidation there. But at this point in time, it's looking pretty good for a potential measure move, near enough to be completed, right? So it's definitely something to consider if we are to see that insane, potentially panic sell-off and to see that insane price action to the downside, right? But yeah, in terms of a measure move for that to the downside, that's what it would be, around 16%. If we're looking at a potential break to the upside, which we all want a potential break to the upside, right? That's the ideal scenario. Ideal scenario, we would be looking at something along the lines of this. Obviously, depending on where we're going to break. And as you can see here, we do have a 21 moving, and that's the yellow one, the 21 moving average coming down here, basically coming to say hello, right? It's coming to say hello because obviously the last 21 candles on the daily have been progressing to the downside, and that's obviously bringing the moving average down with it. Morning, Dan. Nice to see you on the chat here, bro. As I said, I hope everyone's had an amazing bank holiday weekend. I went to the beach and got absolutely burnt to shreds, right? I can't even put shoes on my feet, it's so burnt. But yeah, I hope everyone had a great one, right? But yeah, so in terms of a bounce point for this descending triangle, right, it would be that 34,400, 500 sort of zone. As I was just saying, if we are looking at that progression to the upside, breaking this level of resistance to the sorry, my wisdom teeth, the level of resistance on this descending triangle on the top side of it, right? If we are going to break that level of resistance and find support here, we are going to be looking at a measure move, right? On the basis of where we're going to break, we'll have to look at that in live price action there. But as you can see, as I just said, we do have this 21 moving average coming down here. So that's definitely a thing to think about. If we are going to be looking at a long position, right? If we are going to be looking at a long position, obviously, depending on where we break, as I said, we could be looking at a potential take profit point at that moving average. If not, we do have the pretty dominant, juicy dominance of this 200 coming through here. So we would be potentially looking at a take profit at that point as well, right? Probably taking 75% and then leaving that other 25%, a little bit of a risk there just in case we don't, just in case we find that resistance off that 21 moving average there. But yeah, potential for that trade there on the long term for Bitcoin if we are going to see that progression to the upside. So that's definitely something to consider. Obviously, everything I say here is just on speculation, and I'm not saying go take this trade, right? I'm saying do your own research and go from there, right? And do your own research, and nothing I say is financial advice. All that good stuff there. But yeah, let's jump to the weekly. Let's jump to the weekly because we did see that weekly close on that Sunday, right? Week's close on a Sunday, weekly close on that Sunday. And as I was discussing, it's crucial we didn't fall below this 55. If we were to fall below this 55 in terms of that candle close on the weekly there, we would have been it would have been bad, right? It would have been really bad, and we would have seen that progression to the downside. I don't think we would have gone so like insanely low and lost this volume weighted ATR by that 28,300 zone. But we would have potentially seen a break from there. But and we would have seen that price action fall to the downside from there if we did lose the 55. But we did get some nice candle closes above the 55 there. Very, very nice indeed. Starting a new week for Bitcoin here. We are looking currently at a nice higher low being formed, which is an indication, right? We're seeing that uptrend being formed, right? And as you can see, it's good. It's good to see, right? Because obviously we saw these insane pumps to the upside, right? These insane pumps to the upside from Bitcoin in terms of this bull run here. Very, very big indeed. And this is literally just a retracement, right? We've just seen a retracement, obviously on speculation that we don't continue in this bear market down. But in terms of just charts itself, let me go to the bull market barrier for now. And just in terms of charts itself, right? We are looking. This is looking healthy, right? It's looking healthy because we do need that retracement. If we're seeing this pump of literally like, I can't even see that. Yeah, 500%. We're seeing a pump of literally like 500%. We're going to need some sort of retracement for it to be healthy. Otherwise, we're going to see us fall to the floor. Yep, 50% retracement. We're going to gain 500% and retrace 50% and then progress to the upside. What's not to like? What's not to like with that? Yeah, so I'm glad that we did this 50% retracement, and we are looking like we are going to potentially come back up to the upside here in terms of the weekly trend that we're seeing play out here. But yeah, if we jump to the monthly quickly, because we did see that monthly close, and it is the 1st of June. Crazy stuff. Summer is beginning, and I know when we saw these six blue candles for me, but green candles for you, I presume, on your chart. Candles in literally a row, right? That was it was pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Unheard of for Bitcoin there to do that 6 months in a row. And this is why. This is why we were predicting these downwards candles, these red candles coming through here. But yeah, in terms of a bounce point right now for the monthly, I would be looking at getting to this low point here. Let me jump some moving averages through there. Yeah, as you can see, we do have this 10 moving average coming through here. And this is another reason why I stated that we could be seeing this 34,500 zone being tapped here at around the top side of this moving average coming through here, because we know when we get that candle open, right, we always see that little bit of retracement, right, that little bit of retracement, especially in the market what we're at now, right, especially in the market what we're at now, just because we are seeing that insane validity, right, insane volatile markets, right, so we are looking at potentially coming down. It's another factor that we could come down and test this 34,500 zone, so definitely take that into account if we are going to see that selling power on the short-term timeframes, right. We could be seeing that, and there's a lot of factors saying that we are going to come down, right, so just be aware in terms of trading Bitcoin today. And for me personally, I'm not looking at any short positions today. I mean, I think I like to trade chart patterns, right? I like to trade chart patterns and in a sense momentum, and this is just a bit mad, right? It's just a bit crazy. It does look good in terms of getting in a short position to this grey box zone, but for me, congruently, I would be waiting for some breaks of these triangles, some breaks of this channel that we got coming through here. And yeah, just a few more factors coming down before we see, because obviously we do have these high lows coming through here, before we see actual progression to the downside in terms of getting in a nice short there for us there. So if I would be looking at a short, I would be looking at an invalidation of this high low coming through here at around that 34,400 zone. So if we aren't to lose that, then I can see us having that progression to the downside, obviously, because we are going to lose that 10 moving average as well. Potential target point would be that 21 on the monthly chart there. But as I said, I can't really see that happening anytime soon or imminently. I think we've got quite a few days, maybe a week or something, so before we see any sort of crazy stuff to the downside. Fingers crossed, eh? But with that being said, if we do eradicate this high low here, then we are going to see that progression to the downside. Oh, right, let me get to, that's Bitcoin done. Let me get to crypto.com for Mark there. Oh, God, I'm in agony. Right, that's Ethereum. Up to crypto.com. Guys, if you're liking the stream, smash that thumbs up, helps me out tremendously. Obviously on the YouTube and all that stuff, but yeah, really appreciate your likes. Turn that thumbs up blue. In terms of what's happening for crypto.com right now, let's jump to the daily to start us off, right? Let's jump to the daily to start us off now. Obviously, we do have this downward sloping resistance line coming through here, but it's not looking bad. It's not looking bad in terms of setting these higher lows coming through here. We have been setting these high lows continuously. We have seen that the price reversal in terms of the buying power to the upside here, and seeing that curl over, setting that low point, very nice indeed. You can take a look at Matic when you get a chance. Yes, I can, Dan. Just for you, sir, I can. But yeah, ideal price point for crypto.com right now. I mean, I've got this in my portfolio. I'm pretty bullish on crypto.com. I do think we do have a long way to go, but when we get there, I think we could be mirroring BNB, that sort of a price action sort of channel stuff going on there, right? But yeah, in terms of a price point target, I would be looking to get over this lower high point here. In terms of if you're looking for the getting over that candle close, it would be around that point there, around that 0.13 cents there. But excuse me, if you weren't to get over that and you are to see that resistance correlating with this downward sloping resistance line you got coming through here, and also you do have this 21 moving average coming through here on the daily, which obviously on the daily it's going to be a lot stronger than like the hourly time frame. So it's definitely something to consider in terms of a resistance point at that 13 cents 22 there. Yep, Matic and then WRX for harsh shit there. It's nice to see a load of the OGs in the chat there. Thank you ever so much, guys. It means a lot to me. But yeah, cheers, boys. and females if you are there. But yeah, in terms of resistance points here, I would be looking at this 21 in terms of a target. If you are to get over this 21, this horizontal resistance point and this downward sloping resistance line, I would be looking at a candle close at around 13 cents 67. If you are to get over that, I would be pretty bullish to come up and try and test this this 55 moving average and this 200 moving average coming through here. But I hate to say it does kind of look like we are looking at potential death cross coming through here on the daily. So that might mean that it's an indication that we are looking at potentially coming down from there, potentially coming down around this price action here. So, I mean, I think you asked me a question. It is going to go up again. Yes, I do think Crypto.com is going to go up again, right? You said a good low realistic target, right? A low realistic target, right? I would be looking an absolute low point for the volume weighted ATR band on the daily would be this 6 cent, right? It would be the 6 cent mark. Absolute low, I mean, you're looking at a horizontal support point sat at around this 5 cents, right? So if we are to see everything dump off an absolute cliff and we are to lose this volume weighted ATR band on the daily here, that would be a bounce point, but I do see us bouncing before that. Obviously, this is on the daily. It's heavily respected in terms of a lot of the charts, right? I do see us bouncing here at around that 6 cents 41, 6 cents 5, around that mark. But in order to do that, around that mark, in order to do that, we would need to eradicate these lower highs and then set lower lows continuously in that, and basically continue this trend that we've got coming to the downside, right? Continue this trend that we've got coming to the downside here. So yeah, you've got a long way to go, I think, before you're going to see those insane lows. And as I just said, I'm bullish on Crypto.com, right? And I do think we've got a long way to go, right? We've got a long way to go, but I do think there's hello Tom, nice to see you in the chat there. Oh no, I didn't. Yeah, here we go, right? Yeah, yeah, I think we do have a long way to go with Crypto.com, but in terms of getting above this crucial downward sloping resistance line here, we would be looking at progression to the upside, obviously on the predication that we get over these major moving averages that we've got coming through here on the daily, right? Let me jump to the short term here. In terms of the short term right now, oh, that's wrong. In terms of the short term right now, where's it? Oh, God, yeah, there we go. It's not looking so bad. As you can see, we've got this pretty dominant support line coming through here. So it's definitely something to consider if we are going to see a drop in the price here. Obviously, we are seeing a drop in the price, but we do have the 55 moving average coming up here and the 200 coming across here. So it's looking at a potential little golden cross coming through there. So that's an indication on the short-term time frame, on the hourly here, we could be seeing progression in the price here. Likelihood, we come up to this, once we bounce off this 200 and the price action channel, and we see that progression to the upside here, we bounce and we find resistance off this horizontal resistance point at that 12 cents 66. But yeah, in answer to your question, in terms of a hodl, that low point was that 6 cent mark, right? But yeah, if we are gonna lose these crucial moving averages here, we will be seeing that resistance potential bounce point looking at this support line that we got coming through here, right? So the support line we got coming through here would be ideal in terms of a bounce point. And as you can see, we are seeing quite a bit of momentum from this point, right? Quite a bit of momentum from this point. If we're to drag this up from here and take this little bit over here as spillover, we're still seeing that momentum, right? We're still seeing that momentum. So if we are going to get to around this point, around that 11 cent and 86, I would be looking at a nice bounce point from there, right? And that's the short term. Crucial, just a summary on the crucial points to watch here. It would be getting below this 200 moving average and this 55. So you want to be looking at a target if you're going to the downside of around 11 cents 98. If we do get a nice candle close, a few hourly candle closes below that 55 there, we are looking at progressing to the downside. But if we do see a bounce, I would be looking at reclaiming this 21 moving average, getting a few candle closes below that. But as you can see, we are setting lower lows in terms of this trend continuously, and these lower highs are just basically coming through. In terms of a short term target, I would be looking to eradicate this lower high and see a reversal in the trend here. As I said, the next target would be that 12 cent and 67 mark in terms of a horizontal level of resistance, right? Not a problem at all, Mark. Class buy orders set, cheers. Everything I say, nothing I say is financial advice, bro. Face you, Chester, Ivo. Ivo's an OG out here. What was next? It was Matic for Dan. Matic for Dan. Very bullish on Matic in terms of the long term, right? In terms of the technology that they've got going, in terms of the layer 2 protocol and stuff like that. Very, very interesting stuff. If you don't know anything about that, I suggest you do some research. Very, very nice indeed. In terms of Matic for the long term right now, let me jump to this. It looks a very, very ugly chart indeed. Let me just get rid of all these. And guys, if you're liking the stream, smash that thumbs up, turn that thumbs up blue. Helps me out tremendously, right? Helps me out tremendously. But yeah, as you can see here, we do have pretty dominant resistance lines coming through here, which we're looking at a potential test of that zone on the daily here at around that $2 mark. That would be the potential test point for Matic on the daily here. And as you can see, I don't think, is that a higher point? Yeah, we do still have a higher point in terms of the current candle. So that is not, it's not an initiation that we're seeing that trend reversal. Yes, the candle is red, but it's not an initiation that we are seeing that trend reversal, right? So it's definitely something to consider. In terms of the next candle, we could be looking at coming up and testing this sort of zone today. Maybe not today, I don't think, because we've got a long way to go today. But we all know it is Matic, so we could be seeing that progression to the upside from there. What's good, King? Sky Demex in the chat. My guy out here. But yeah, so we could be looking at testing this downward sloping resistance line in the next day or so around that $2 mark. And that's just obviously on one sign, right? In terms of a target to the upside, that would be the target around that $2 mark to see that test. If we are to see that support there, I would be looking at a break to the upside, testing this horizontal resistance point at that $2.23 there. Just gonna have some H2O, baby. $2.23 there for a target for Matic to the upside if we can clear this this downward sloping resistance line coming through here. We do have a potential trend line coming through here, right? That's probably going to be more dominant on the short-term time frames, which we're going to take a look at any second there. But yeah, in terms of a short-term target, in terms of a daily target, it would be not to eradicate this high low that we've got coming through here, and to be continuously setting these high highs in terms of these uptrends, right? Jump to the 4 hour here for you. As you can see, we have got this downward sloping resistance line coming through here, right? Pretty dominant downward sloping resistance line from the top side here. Was that the previous all-time high? Yes, sir, it was. That was the previous all-time high there for Matic. So we are going to see some pretty dominant resistance from there. And also, we do have some sort of resistance support line coming through, looking along the lines of this. Yes, we have near enough cleared it, near enough eradicated it. So if we are looking at a new touch point for that support line coming through there, we would be looking at a new low here. We would be looking at eradicating this high low point that we've got coming through here, which ideally is not the ideal scenario because we want to see that progression to the upside. But yeah, in terms of what is actually happening right now, we have currently just lost this level of support. So it is looking like we are going to come down, but we do have horizontal level of support at that $1.67 and also that $1.53. Straight to Bitcoin for Little Earth quickly, right? He said Bitcoin is Bitcoin going up? At this point in time, it's going down, sir. It's going down, so I would be looking at a bounce point. First bounce point, just to summarize on Bitcoin really quickly, and then I'll jump back to the altcoins for you guys. Bounce point would be this grey zone at this 35,600 mark in terms of bounce, in terms of the price. If we are to lose that, right? If we are to lose that worst case scenario, we do have a dominant level of support at this 34,500, and that does correlate with the moving average on the monthly chart here. So it is kind of likely that we do come down and test that before we see that progressionary price to the upside on the monthly, and also does correlate very nicely indeed with the symmetrical triangle playing out here. So yeah, a few things to think about in terms of Bitcoin at this point in time. I don't think we're going up. If I jump to the midterm here for Bitcoin, you can see on this downward sloping resistance line on the RSI, we're actually finding a high level of resistance here in terms of selling power. So I do see us having that continuation to the downside for a little bit today before we're seeing that bounce. And that's basically a sign that we are potentially either going to bounce off this point here, or we are going to have that continuation down and hit all those crucial points there. Hi Tim, OG out here, good to catch you live. Yeah man, Tim has been here from the start, the absolute start, when I had literally like 2 views. So yeah, thank you very much Tim for sticking around. Hope you were good, my guy. Yeah, good to see you. I think we were on different time frames, but yeah, good to see you, bro. Really appreciate all the support from literally day one. Very cool stuff indeed. Thank you very much. And guys, if you're enjoying the stream, smash that thumbs up. Helps me out tremendously. Obviously, if you are enjoying the stream, turn that thumbs up blue. But yeah, obviously a new YouTuber. Do need a hand with those YouTube algorithms, right? Yeah, briefly on Bitcoin again, I would be looking at target points if we are going to come down of a bounce at around 35,700 mark. And as I said, that does correlate with a few things going on there. In terms of Matic right now, just to summarize Matic quickly, and also my wisdom teeth are coming through pretty strongly, like all 4 of them at the same time. So my mouth's all like swollen and stuff, so I'm quite struggling to talk quite as fast and as well as I used to do, like last week. So just bear with me if I slip up or anything like that. But yeah, cool stuff, guys. We are losing this. We have just lost, this resistance point, this yeah, sorry, if we lost the support on this symmetrical triangle coming down for Matic, right? If we are to have that continuation of the downside, I would be looking at a short-term target of a bounce potentially off this 55 moving average at around that $1.80 there. And that is, obviously you can see here, it's a pretty dominant level of support here. So in terms of Matic right now, that would be the target in terms of a bounce. That's ideal. But in terms of what's happening right now, in terms of the 3 hour and 19 minutes left on this candle, we would be looking at a nice candle close above this 21 if we are looking at that progression to the upside and potentially testing this this resistance line coming to the upside here at that $1.95. But as I said here, crucial point, because we do have these lower highs coming through here at around this point. So we would be looking at finding resistance there. I'm not shy to say that we will find resistance there, as you can see played out previously, right? As you can see played out previously, very, very nice indeed. But ideally, if we do find a level of support there, we do have quite a lot of resistance coming to the downside here to stop the price action. But yeah, short-term targets would be to get a close off this over this 21 here at that $1.86, right? In terms of what's happening on the RSI, we do have this downward sloping resistance line coming through. So it's definitely something to think about if we do have a surge of buying power to the upside here, because we are going to see some resistance there forming, right? Always smashing the thumbs up, bruv. Yes, sir. Yes, my G. Come on. Yeah, so we are going to see a level of resistance coming to the downside here if we do tap that on the RSI. So definitely something to think about, right? In terms of Matic, right? Yeah, that's definitely something to think about in terms of targets, right? But yeah, I would be watching this this candle close for the 4 hour and this 55 coming through there. If we do lose that, I would be looking at a horizontal target of support at that $1.67. 314, right? $1.67.314. That would be a bounce point potentially for Matic. If not, we would be looking at testing this higher low point at that 153, I think that is. Yeah, $1.53 there, right? So it's definitely something to think about in terms of a bounce position. And as you can see, in terms of previous price action here, we do have a lot of momentum to the upside. A lot of momentum to the upside off this horizontal support point here. And we do have this 200 moving average coming up here on the 4 hourly as well. So we could be looking at potential ride the wave along that as well. So at this point in time, I would be looking for Matic to come down just because we have lost this crucial point of support here. But I wouldn't see us going any lower at this point than this higher low point here, right? Let me jump to WRX. Do you set to your courses yet? Super interested in learning from Chester. I don't currently sell a TA course yet, but I am building one. I didn't really want to tell that to anyone yet, but I am in the mix of like building one. I'm doing it in week sections, and I've got like 2 weeks done. I want to do like a 6-week course for any sort of new traders here. But yes, that's obviously going to come in the future. A few things I want to do first in terms of I want to make a Discord where it's like a community where all you guys in the Crypto Chester community now, we can all jump into like a live call together 24/7, 365, all of that stuff there. So we can literally, when you're trading, you could have your headset on or whatever you trade with, or just a microphone in general, and you can just be talking about your trades, talking about the charts, what's happening, live price action, that sort of stuff. I think that'd be really cool to build a community like that. And before I start selling courses or any of that juicy stuff there, I want to put that as a priority because I want to put you guys first and not me. And to be honest, financially right now, like I'm trading, I enjoy trading, I make money from trading, so I don't really need to sell courses. It would be just be for the benefit for you new traders out there, right? Let me jump to free courses, yeah. There will be some stuff going on. I've got a few things up my sleeve. I've got a nice list of things that I want to do. But at this point in time, I do need to just manage, master this streaming side of things. In my opinion, because like I'm still nervous coming onto the stream, guys. It was WRX, right? WRX is next. But yeah, you guys do make me feel a lot more chilled out. Definitely. So yeah, appreciate that a lot. WRX on the daily right now. God, we're looking at. Damn, that's looking good. Surge to the upside. Very nice indeed. Setting these high lows continuously on the daily here. Crucial point we're testing here would be this lower high point here. I would be looking at a target for the daily to get over that around that $2.44 mark around that wick here. I would be looking to get over that there. That's ideal. But short-term target in terms of the daily target today, it would be smashing this point here. This current high wick point of the daily candle. You've seen a very healthy open today in terms of momentum to the upside. In terms of percent to the upside, in terms of momentum right now, that's very, very good indeed. That's 13% there. Very, very nice indeed. But yeah, so I would be looking at a short-term target to get over this current wick that you're setting, because if you are going to set a lower high here, you would be looking at a little bit of progression to the downside, right? And whether that is coming back down and testing this 55 in this price action channel, or this 21, which is slowly creeping up here as you are creeping up in the price, that would be a potential bounce point for WRX there. But at this point in time, it's not looking too bad at all. But as I said, crucial point here would be would be these this point here. As you can see, we've got these lower highs, and also next point would be next horizontal level resistance would be this point here, because as you can see, we do have quite a lot of correlation on that point there. So you are looking to see some resistance here, and then we've got the dreaded volume weighted ATR band coming through here. So you are looking at resistance from there as well. So in order to progress to the upside, as you can see, you have had this pretty much insane pump, right? You've seen pretty much the same pump over the last day or so. Very, very juicy indeed. So I would be looking at some sort of correction from there, because you don't want to be going, in a sense, parabolic. You want to be literally fizzling out a bit. If we go to yeah, look, it's crazy, right? That's absolutely crazy in terms of a pump. So in terms of getting that momentum to the upside and seeing those higher price targets hit again, I would be looking at some sort of correction. An ideal scenario, the correction should be happening in this sort of zone here, because there's a lot of resistance, nice levels of support coming through here, as you can see. So we would be looking at a nice target to get up to this point, around this point here, around that $2.30, $2.40, and then seeing that consolidation period around there. That's the ideal scenario for you right now. If you are going to see that insane progression to the upside there, I would be looking at serious dumps, because obviously this is near enough parabolic, right? So we need to basically cool off. We need to cool off. The chart needs to cool off. And so does my mouth. Oh, wisdom teeth, killing me. But yeah, so that is WRX sort of summed up there. In terms of targets, right, I would be looking, as I said, getting over this sort of point here and holding it, right, and seeing that consolidation before we see another leg up. But it's looking good. High lows being set continuously. Very juicy indeed, right? Very, very juicy indeed. And you do have nice level of support in terms of 200 moving average coming through here on the 4-hourly time frame. So what was next here? What was next? Guys, if you're liking the stream, smash that thumbs up, turn that thumbs up blue. Helps me out tremendously, right? And yeah. Any altcoins, guys, smash them in the chat there. Let's get this chat rolling. Smash the H2O. Rosecoin, please. Let's have a little look at Rosecoin, please, for Arthur Patrick. I'm saying that wrong. Apologies. Rose USD. Not so bad, right? It's not so bad. I mean, you are setting lower highs, right? You are setting lower highs in terms of price action here. Ideal target for yourself there, it would be, it's obviously the 4-hourly chart here. You do have a downward sloping resistance line coming through here from this tall wick point coming through here. As you can see, we primarily did respect it before. So, morning, sir. What do you think of Ethereum? I'll jump that to the list. NX, good to see you here, bro. But yeah, as you can see here, for Rosecoin right now, crucial point, I would be looking at finding levels of support on these major moving averages, the 55, the 21 coming through here, and the price action channel. Crucial, you find support on this price action channel coming through here, because as you can see, we do see that momentum to the upside once we find a nice level of support on it there. Short-term target, it would be to clear this downward sloping resistance line at around that 0.08 cents there. Sorry, 8 cents, 8.4. No, 8 cents 4, right? 8 cents 4. God, yeah, 8 cents 4. Clear that. Clear this resistance point here, and then we would be looking at a target of this 200 moving average at around that 10-cent zone there. But at this point in time, you are dumping. That's probably because Bitcoin's had a nice little retrace, and Bitcoin just lost 36,000. Oh my God. Oh my God. We are looking at coming down, as I said, to test this grey box zone at 35,600. As I said, for Bitcoin, worst case scenario, we've got a very juicy bounce point on a lot of the time frames for 34,500, right, as it says in the title of the stream, right? But yeah, back to Rose here. We do have obviously another dominant level of support point coming through here, creating that little juicy symmetrical triangle coming through here. So we do need to think about a potential position coming through here. If you are to trade chart positions here, potential position coming through, if we are to break to the upside, in terms of working that position out, we would be looking at going off the previous uptrend if we are breaking to the upside here. And look, it looks like it's going to correlate perfectly with this 200 moving average coming down as well. So we do have a potential take profit looking around that point there. Likelihood, scenario-wise, it would be for this to play out a bit longer in terms of this symmetrical triangle. So to play out a little bit longer, give time for this moving average to come down here, and then we're looking at a nice clean take profit, clean sniper shot take profit. Very, very nice indeed. But yeah, short-term target right now would be to hold this price action channel that we got coming through here, and below that we do have that support point heavily holding at that 7 cents and 7 cents and 2.7, right? Yeah, that would be to the upside. If you're going to break to the downside, right? If you're going to break to the downside, I mean, it's not looking the end of the world right now. Yes, you are setting these lower highs continuously, and I would be looking for that break to the upside to eradicate these pretty sharpish. If not, you could be looking at, as you can see, right, these higher low points, they're getting closer, right? They're getting closer together. So that's an initiation. If we do set a higher low point, it's going to be there. Then the next higher low point could be pretty much like symmetrical with it, and then we see that downwards progression, right? Reversing the trends. That's definitely something to consider. In terms of a short position for losing this symmetrical triangle, I would be looking at this high low point being crucial. In terms of potential take profit point, it would be looking along the lines of this. Let's go on the basis that we are just going to come down and see this is going to be the most dominant trend to the downside here. Obviously, depending on where we're going to break along this symmetrical triangle here, we would be looking at something along the lines of this. And yes, that does near enough correlate with this high low point as well there, right? So in terms of percent for that trade, I would be looking at 14% for that, obviously depending on where we break. But yeah, in terms of a take profit, I would be taking probably 50% profit around this 6 cent zone if we are looking at progressing to the downside, and then potentially I would be closing the trade having the full take profit at this point here, because we are going to see at this high low point here, we are going to see that support being formed there, I do think indeed. If not, consolidation period around that zone, right? So yeah, definitely something to think about in terms of Rose, what's going on there. In terms of the RSI for Rose, it's not really that much going on. It's pretty central right now. Not really that much that I can see that's jumping out on me in terms of supports and stuff like that. So yeah, pretty central, pretty undecided in terms of buying and selling power. But yeah, keep an eye on breaking that level of support to the upside. We are about to see a bearish crossover on the MACD here, which is an indication that we could be seeing. It's not looking like the biggest trend in the world, right? It's not looking like the biggest trend in the world. As you can see, we do have this level of support being formed here. So if we are to see a downtrend come out, we are looking at a nice level of support here. So it's not going to be too big indeed, right? And that's basically an indication that we could be seeing the bottom side of this symmetrical triangle being tested fairly soon indeed. Wonderful analysis. Thank you very much, sir. It's nice to get a compliment, right? But let me jump back to the chat. But yeah, guys, if you're liking the stream, smash that thumbs up, turn that thumbs up blue, helps me out tremendously in terms of being a new YouTuber and stuff. And apology if I'm slipping off on my words at all my wisdom teeth coming through at once. It's absolute agony. But yeah, always here for you guys. So I'm just gonna be drinking loads of water and just excuse if I mess up, right? Yeah, I must say, lovely having you all here, right? And hope you all had a good bank holiday weekend for those guys in England. Let me jump to what was next. Always keep it up. 54 in Asia. Oh, crazy, you're in Asia, bro. That's sick. My brother actually, he usually lives in Thailand, but obviously with COVID and stuff, he's had to come back. So he had to come back to England, and he's been in England for a while now. But yeah, he's flying back out to Thailand in like a month or so. So yeah, he's going to live over there, and I think I'm probably gonna shoot with him soon. Probably not yet because of visas and stuff, but it will be after that. I will probably have some time in Thailand, I think. Crazy stuff. Girthy dumps coming from harsh shit there. Denny, SHIB will go down heavily. SHIB is just going to go down, bro. We might see a little swing to the upside. I'm not going to do a TA on SHIB, right? But because it just goes down. But yeah, we might see a swing to the upside potentially if we see some sort of TikTok trend coming through. Hello, Nilesh. Good to see you on the stream again, bro. Very nice stuff indeed. And then what was next? Amazing Cowboy, awesome. Bitcoin for Little Earth. I think I jumped on that quickly for you. Oh, we have actually pumped back up. Very nice indeed. In terms of a target for Bitcoin right now, it would be to get over this 55. In terms of price action, that would be around that 36,400 zone. That's the ideal scenario. Find a nice level of support there, and then we can think about testing this horizontal level resistance point at 36,575. Worst case scenario, as I said, we would be looking at a bounce point at this 35,659 mark. If we don't get that, we would be looking at a juicy bounce point for this 34,500 mark, and maybe potential long position coming through there, right? Potential long position coming through there, as we are going to see that support point being formed from these high low points. This high low point here coming through here, and as you can see, we are seeing that buying momentums in terms of previous price action history. So it's definitely something to consider in terms of a position for Bitcoin right there on the midterm, right? But yeah, and also it does correlate with this 10 moving average on the monthly chart here. And as I said a minute ago, right? When we open a candle, we usually see that wicking power to the downside or to the upside before we see that progression to the upside, right? And as you can see, we are, in a sense, looking at setting a high low here if we don't fall below this low point here, and that is an indication that we could bounce to the upside. And bring it onto the weekly, we are setting these high lows continuously, so it's looking good indeed, right? It's looking good indeed. If we are to wick down, it's not going to be invalidating any higher low points here. So that looks like we are seeing that progression to the upside for Bitcoin there. Very nice indeed. Next target for Bitcoin on the weekly here would be this 21 moving average at that 44,000 zone. But as I've said in a lot of my videos here, crucial point is this lower high point. As you can see, even from the start of this insane crash that we had, right? Sorry if my chart's really messy, guys. I know there's a lot on it right now. Let me get rid of some of the things, right? Yeah, in terms of what's happening. with this lower high point here. As you can see, every time in terms of this insane crash to the downside, which we saw, which was the start of everything, right? That insane crash to the downside when we set that insane low point, we did see us come up and we saw that buying momentum to the upside. Not once, not twice, but 3 times before we actually plummeted down yet again. So this point here is crucial in terms of resistance for when we get there, and that is literally sat around the 41,000 to 42,000 sort of zone there. That's going to be crucial in terms of breaking that point. If we do break that point, ideal. If not, we could be looking at setting some insane chart pattern before we break to the upside, right? But at this point in time, we do have this symmetrical triangle. Playing out indeed. And ideally, I don't want to say it, but ideally, I would like to see another touch to the downside here and then progressing to the upside and then a break to the upside. That would be very nice indeed in terms of a trade, because we are going to be further away from these horizontal horizontal resistance points in terms of take profits, in terms of percentages, right? Let me jump to, that was Bitcoin, a little summary there for Bitcoin for you there. Little Earth. But yeah, let me have a little look. Very nice. I live in Bangkok, so it would be great to catch up if you get over. Yeah, literally my brother lives in Bangkok as well, man. Crazy stuff. Got a few apartments over there and stuff. So yeah, when I'm over there, bro, I'll definitely give you the shout. We'll go grab a beer or something along the lines of that. That'd be sick. Let me have a little look here. What do you think of ETH? What do I think of ETH? The NX there. A little bit behind on the chat there. God, my wisdom teeth, tell you. Yeah, that's correct, sir. Everything does follow BTC. It does have that dominance in the market, which, in my opinion, it's very annoying. Very annoying indeed. But hopefully in the future we can see some sort of something happening that eradicates that. That would be the ideal scenario for me, right? That would be the absolute ideal scenario if we can eradicate Bitcoin dominance. But obviously it's pretty hard to do because, well, it's just insane, right? It's just insane. Everything follows it. If Bitcoin dumps, everyone pulls their money out of all crypto, right? Because it's obviously the leader. In terms of ETH right now, we are looking at a symmetrical triangle being played out, right? Symmetrical triangle being played out. It's not looking too bad. We do have a nice dominant level of support coming through here, and we do see that buying momentum from that support, right? Continual buying momentum from that support. So if we are to lose this 21 moving average and this price action channel coming through here, we are likely to test this level of support that we've got coming through, horizontal level of support at 2,513 there for Ethereum. So we could be looking at a bounce point from there. But as you can see, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. We haven't got space. There's not a lot of space here. So in terms of what I think could potentially happen, unless we see some insane selling power on Bitcoin, right, we do have a lot of place for skirting. We have a lot of place for skirting in terms of price action. So ideally, a consolidation period to chill it all out would be nice. And obviously, we do have a lot of horizontals coming through here, and also a lot of moving averages, right? In terms of a target, right, we have seen this trend curl over. We're not really going to break any higher low points at this point in time, and if we do, we are going to be losing the symmetrical triangle to the downside, which, in my opinion, I don't think we're going to do anytime soon. Obviously, we do have this downward sloping resistance line to think about if we do lose that in terms of a bounce point, because obviously we are on the 4-hourly here, and that does correlate with some high low points coming through here. So we would be looking at a bounce point in terms of not completing a measure move. If we were looking at some sort of trade along the lines of this, we wouldn't be looking at the completion of that measure move in terms of a short position, right? Obviously, this is based on where we're going to break this symmetrical triangle here, and that's around that $13. It's around that 13% mark. But in terms of a take profit for that, we would be looking at a bounce for this downward sloping support line coming through here, and that's at around that 9% mark for that trade. Would be very juicy indeed if we were to see that break to the downside, because we do like profiting when it's going down. That's why we're here. We're here to make money. We do like profiting when it's going down, as well as when it's going up, right? It is easier when it's going up, but it's technical stuff when it's going down. And if you can get nice trades in like that, get nice swings in like that, and that's good stuff indeed, right? Very good stuff indeed. But greed is key, right? If we were going to look for that completion of the measure move, we would potentially seen some sort of support level being formed here in terms of this downward sloping support line. We would have seen a rejection in the price, and then we wouldn't have seen that completion of the measure move, and the price would have potentially retraced, and we would have seen that stop out in this early stages of this symmetrical triangle around that 2,400 zone, right? I think I'm waffling on a bit here, but yeah, in terms of price targets right now for Ethereum, jump down to the hourly, right? We are currently testing this 200 moving averages we've got coming through here, and we have just lost the 21. So it would be ideal to close in 44 seconds above this 200 moving average and above this horizontal level of support here. If we can do that, I would be looking at a bit of a trend reversal in terms of progression move to the upside. But don't count your chickens with all the eggs and all that sayings there, because we are setting these lower highs continuously. So yeah, I would be looking at a long-term, well, not long-term target, a target for the daily to come up and basically eradicate this lower high being set here and try and get above this trend line. And then we could be looking at progression to the upside from there. But yeah, key point right now would be holding this 200 moving average over the next next few hours or so, holding that point, and then holding this 55 moving average at 2,533. Then in terms of what's happening on the RSI, in terms of the hourly right now, yep, we just got the candle close above it. Very, very nice indeed. In terms of the hourly right now, we do have this downward sloping resistance line in a sense on this side. And if we can find a nice level of support on it, as you can see from this point here, we did find a nice level of support on it. And that's basically why we saw this bounce coming through here in terms of Ethereum, right? And that's obviously falling dead in line with this dominant support trend line coming through there. So yeah, if we're looking at a potential bounce point, we would be coming down on the RSI and we would be looking for a potential bounce point from that point. And it does kind of correlate with nearly being oversold there. So that's obviously another indication we're going to have a buyback in the price. And I know a lot of people are very bullish on Ethereum, even to the fact of what's happening in the markets in terms of Bitcoin and stuff being the leader in terms of the dominance there. But I do think Ethereum is gonna basically do its own thing soon. I do think it is going to do its own thing soon. As we saw, I think it was about a month ago or something like that. Around a month ago, right? We saw this insane pump to the upside. Just a very, very nice, healthy trend to the upside for Ethereum. So that's likelihood that Ethereum, it basically shows that Ethereum is pretty strong on its own, right? It's pretty strong on its own. So it is likely that we are going to see it overtake the Bitcoin dominance there. It's not going to hold the market, in my opinion, but I do think they are going to behave abnormally to the rest of the cryptos, right? Ideal bounce point would be this point here on the 37 mark, and that's probably going to correlate potentially with the monthly pivot point that we got plotted in here at that 2,483. But ideally, we would like to see a nice sort of consolidation, not to lose this 55, and then seeing a bounce off that 55, something along the lines of looking like that, right? That would be ideal for the next target at the top side of this symmetrical triangle. Whew. Whew. My teeth hurt. Oh, God. Any other requests in the chat, guys? Liking Glitch, mate. I know you have been looking at it. What's your thoughts on the movements? I think it's good, bro. I do think we've got a little bit to go with Glitch, but I think getting in as early as possible is ideal. And you can actually get in. I think you can get in on the Binance Smart Chain as well, so you don't pay the Ethereum fees, which is really fascinating because obviously we know how bad Ethereum fees are, right? So we can get in early at this point here. And guys, if you haven't seen my Glitch video, there is an altcoin called Glitch, and they're basically releasing their own blockchain. I think it's in Hong Kong, right? They're releasing their own blockchain in Hong Kong, primarily for like financial companies. And obviously we know blockchain technology is up and coming, and it's going to dominate a lot of the finance space in terms of security and fraud and stuff like that. So yeah, I do think there's a lot of potential for that company. So guys, go check that video out if you want to learn more about that. And yeah, it's in my opinion, it's currently seriously underpriced. But yeah, I do think we've got a little bit way to go. I think they're releasing Glitch on Binance. I think it's August. And yeah, on Binance in August. So we'll be looking at potential surge in the price then, potentially, if the word gets out. But I think they're releasing their blockchain in July, I think. So that's definitely something to watch there. Glitch. Very bullish on Glitch for the long term, right? Let me get through here. Thanks, man. Wonderful analysis, isn't it? Not a problem at all. Neelesh for you. KSM, sir. Guys, I do have my wisdom teeth coming through, and they're absolutely killing me. So I don't think I'm going to be going for probably 2 hours today, but absolute agony, I can't tell you. But yeah, I'm always going to get in a live stream Monday to Friday, 1 to 2 hours. So if you do want to be here with me every day, smash that subscribe button, smash that notification bell. You're never going to miss one of my uploads. I also do technical analysis live updates continuously as well. But yeah, so I will be doing that continuously. But I am probably not going to be streaming as long this week in terms of my morning streams, just because my teeth are just killing me. I just need to give them a bit of a break, right? But yeah, I'll always get a stream out for you guys, even if I am in agony. I'm drinking 8 pints of water to get through it, right? KSM right now, that's the hourly, right? Let's jump to the 4 hourly. Let's get rid of that. Jump to the 4 hourly right now. I mean, it's looking good, man. It's looking good indeed. We have eradicated these lower high points, right? We've got these lower high points coming through here. So that's looking very, very juicy indeed, right? As you can see, we do have this insane lower high point to get over as well. So that would be your next sort of a longer term target. But before you can even sort of think about that, I would be looking at clearing this 200 moving average, sat out around that $385 mark. So that would be your target, I reckon, for the next 8 to 12 hours, 2 to 3 days sort of mark. If you can get over that 200 moving average on the 4 hourly time frame here, you would be looking at a progression to the upside and finally challenging this zone that we've got coming through here. Let me get a box drawn for you there, sir. Yeah, so it would be looking along the lines of this, right? You would be looking at challenging, and it does correlate with this horizontal resistance point here. So that would be the next target in terms of the long term here. But what you're doing now, you've seen this insane pump to the upside, right? Very, very good stuff indeed. Creating those high lows continuously. Very, very strong. Very, very strong in terms of an uptrend. But you do need this correction. What you're seeing now, this sideways zone, it's good. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. It's healthy. You need this to see that next leg up. Otherwise, you're going to be parabolic, and then you're just going to fall off a cliff. And then that's not good for anyone involved, right? And it creates all the FUD and the FOMO and all that stuff. Don't like that, technical trader, right? But yeah, this consolidation period is good indeed. I mean, low point for the consolidation period would be this 55 point and a bounce off that, and that's at 332. Obviously on predication of what Bitcoin's going to do, of course, and Bitcoin is going up. Actually, is seeing a nice test of this 55 on the 1 hour right now. Very, very nice indeed. But yeah, in terms of a target right now, I would be looking for KSM. Sorry, I would be looking to get over this 200 on the 1 hour, on the 4 hour. Right. In terms of the 1 hour right now, you are seeing a little bit of a curl over in the trend, and you have, in a sense, just eradicated this higher low point here. So that is an indication that you would be coming down and testing these moving averages. Let's jump to the 4 hour there. You would be potentially coming down and testing this 55 moving average there. And as you can see, on the RSI, we did near enough get overbought here. So that's why you are seeing a bit of a retracement in the price here. Yeah, a bit of a retracement in the price here. So that's definitely something to watch. If you do come central, then it's open forest. I can't think of an analogy for that, but yeah, there's not really a lot going on if you go central on the RSI, so you could swing either way. But you do have obviously dominant levels of support coming through here. In terms of moving averages right now, so yeah, I would be bullish on this in terms of the upwards momentum that you're seeing and eradicating these lower high points. It's a good sign, right? It's a very good sign indeed. So KSM, bullish on it if you can get over this 200 and not find heavy resistance. And then you've got to challenge this crucial point here, these lower high points there. Very, very crucial indeed. And Luna. Maybe a little look at Luna for you, sir. Oh, agony. Yes, 4 hours for Luna right now, obviously with the downward sloping trend line coming through here, which we found a nice level of support in it, right? There's a nice level of support coming through here, and we have seen that progression to the upside over the last day or so. Very, very nice indeed in terms of the 4 hour. You are currently testing the 21 moving average. You are seeing a curl over in the price. You are seeing a few of these higher lows getting eradicated here. So that's kind of an indication you are going to come down. But good news, you've seen that support off this 21 moving average coming through here. So potentially looking at a trend reversal there. RSI, pretty central again for Luna. So can't really get a really good indication for that at all. In terms of the trend right now, you are seeing an uptrend coming through on the MACD, right? It's not looking too bad. It's looking pretty flaccid, pretty stagnant, not really a lot going on, not really a spike in any of the volume or any of that's there. So you could be looking at potential bearish crossover happening soon, and then you're seeing that retrace in the price. In terms of a target, if you are going to see that retrace in terms of that bearish crossover on the MACD here, I would be looking at this horizontal support point at that $5.65 mark for you to think about. Yeah, look at the RSI, see where that trend's going to reverse, and if you are going to see that going there. But you do, obviously, we've got this insane low point being set, and I was obviously from that down point there, so that's definitely something to consider, seeing that bearish crossover on the MACD there. In terms of the low point, as I said, would be this horizontal support point here. If we are to lose that, then I would be looking at another level of support around this point here, around that $5.17 there. Absolute low, if we fall off an absolute cliff, would be this zone here, would be this low point that we had here. I can't see us really going any lower than that anytime soon. But worst case scenario would be a bounce of this volume weighted ATR band there, and that's at $3.97 there on the 4 hourly. Right, let's jump to the daily quickly and see what we got there going on the daily. Yeah, same sort of stuff here. Horizontal level of support at this $4 zone for this it's the Bitcoin Beats raid. Hey everyone. Yeah, this we do have a dominant level of support coming around this point for Luna here, and that is around that $4 there. Yeah, that would be the absolute low. But as I said, in order to get anywhere near that, you need to literally be smashing through the support points you've got here at $5.65 and $5.17. So that would be good sort of targets to think about in terms of a bounce point there. In terms of smashing through, I would be looking at eradicating this lower high point coming through here. That would be the next target to the upside, and that is around that $7.82 in terms of the wick there. In terms of the candle close, you would be looking at around that $7.34 there. So definitely something to consider. Guys, if you're liking the stream, smash that thumbs up. Helps me out tremendously, right? Obviously, new YouTuber and that need help getting on those algos. Very, very hard stuff indeed. But yeah, appreciate all you guys' support. And this is the Bitcoin Beats raid. Hello, everyone from Bitcoin Beats. Hope you had hope you had a good stream there. And I hope you're all having a great day. I'm very sunburnt after my bank holiday weekend, right? But let me do a little summary on Bitcoin for you guys there. As you can see, we are currently testing the 55 again on the 1 hourly chart, right? 55 on the hourly chart. If we can get a nice level of support off that, we would be looking at that progression to the upside. And then the next horizontal level of resistance point would be that 36,575, right? If we are to see heavy resistance, right? If we are to see heavy resistance, as we have just eradicated all these higher low points coming through here, we would be looking at this next target to the downside of this 35,639. If we are on the basis to lose that, I would be looking at coming to the downside here and testing the lower side of this symmetrical triangle we've got coming through, and that is basically bang on 34,500, as it says in the title for the video. Everyone's spamming like crazy, right? Oh no, the spammer is here too. Richard the spammer, pink, pink, pink. Goodness me. But yeah, so that's the midterm for Bitcoin going on right now. In terms of the low point that we could see is this symmetrical triangle point here. As discussed at the start of the stream, guys, if we were looking at potential short position there, if we are to lose the lower side of the symmetrical triangle, we would be looking at take profits literally all the way down, right? There would be take profits all the way down because we've got horizontal support levels coming through from these higher low points continuously, right? So if we are to lose it to the downside, we would be looking at basically a measure move looking along the lines of this. But obviously, take into account where we're going to lose it along the symmetrical triangle here. And it does correlate with the low point of this volume-weighted ATR band coming through as well. So if we are to lose it, if we are to have that insane panic sell-off like we have seen previously in previous price action here, we don't know what could happen. It is crypto, right? It could happen. We've seen that insane FUD in the market, that same panic sell-off. Low point would be this volume-weighted ATR band coming here. And that's around that 31,300 zone. And also we do have this downward sloping support line currently coming through as well. So we would be looking to take profits all the way down here and potentially even an early bounce from there. That's the short term sort of summed up there in terms of a measure move to the downside. Let me do a measure move to the upside. And if we see that progression to the upside, obviously we are going to need to reclaim this zone, which we're currently scurrying around in, right? We're scurrying around in this zone for quite a while. Couldn't really get enough momentum to the upside to get over this 200 moving average coming through here. Everyone just block him. The chat won't show up, lol. Oh, God. Not looking too hot for Bitcoin. Damn bloody Tuesday, I guess. Yes, sir, and the whole bank holidays just come through. Oh god, this guy's really annoying. See, head and shoulders pattern the 4-hourly chart. Let me jump to that. Let me have a little. God, the chat just went crazy, guys. Crazy stuff. Yeah, guys, if you enjoyed the stream, smash that thumbs up. Helps me out tremendously. And I stream every single morning, Mondays to Friday, 1 to 2 hours. You do have to bear with me for a second because my wisdom teeth are coming through on the top side and the bottom side, so I'm in absolute agony doing this stream here. But for you guys, I'll do it, right? I'll absolutely do it. I won't be missing a stream here. There just won't be 3-hour streams in the morning anymore. I'll be doing probably 1 to 2 hours for the rest of this week until I've healed a bit, right? But yeah, in terms of Bitcoin right now, we did the symmetrical triangle, and as I was saying, if we are looking to break to the upside, we do need to get over this downward sloping resistance line coming through here. And on the predication that we do get a nice break to the upside here, obviously depending on where we're going to break, we would be looking at a potential measure move to the upside here. And then taking profit at all of these resistance points coming through here. So obviously staggering our take profits all the way up, getting nice. We do see a nice empty zone here, which we could be looking at some price progression from there. Obviously, this is all speculation that we do come up and we don't find resistance off this downward sloping resistance line, which we have continuously found, right? We have tested it 3 times. That is an indication that we are going to break to the upside, but at this point in time, you know, live price action, we're falling, right? Target would be to get over this 55 and see that progression to the upside and then get over this dirty skr there, which we were trying to, but we didn't find that momentum to the upside. And then obviously from there, crucial point, we do have these lower high points to eradicate, right? If we can get over them, this is the crucial point. These lower highs here from that downtrend, right? As we saw that insane sell-off of Bitcoin, right? We saw that insane sell-off of Bitcoin. And we saw us basically recover in price. And this is the resistance point, which is key because as you can see, we saw the resistance continuously and then it just continued down, right? So if we can get to that point, find a little bit of support there, it's going to be ideal. So be absolutely ideal. I can't stress that enough because we are going to see that progression to the upside and we could see an absolute reversal in terms of the price, right? That's crucial, right? This is absolutely crucial but we are going to see some resistance there. So be prepared at this 41,000 to 42,500 sort of zone because we are going to see a heavy point of resistance there, potentially a bounce point to the downside here, maybe even pretty low, right? Because as you can see here, the momentum to the downside is very strong from that point indeed. That's kind of the short term summed up. As you can see here on the mid-term we've got coming through here, we do have this channel, right? We do have this channel and well, not ideal scenario, but worst case scenario, we come to the bottom side of this channel, right? We come to the bottom side of this channel and that creates this low point coming through here. And that's at around that 31,000. Lowest low point at this point in time for me is around that 30K zone. But yeah, that's not good if we do lose that because we will be setting a lower low and that's an indication that we are going to basically come down, have that continuation to the downside. Ideal scenario right now for this price channel would be to basically come to the upside here, smash the 55, smash these horizontal levels of resistance we got coming through here, find support on this 21 moving average and this 10 moving average here, and then look for the measure move to the upside, right? Obviously on predication of where we're going to break, look for that measure move to the upside, looking around the long lines of this. God, my wisdom teeth are killing. Oh God. Yeah, guys, if you like the stream, smash that thumbs up button. Is that guy gone now? No, still here. Brilliant. Sell it, please, right? Yeah, so we've got this 200 moving average coming down here as well. If we are going to be looking at some sort of take profit point there, obviously, depending on where we're going to break along the top side of this channel, we'll be around 18% pump for Bitcoin there. It wouldn't be a short trade, right? It's not going to be a short trade. Obviously, we are on the 4-hourly, so it is going to take a lot of time to get there, and we are going to see heavy resistance points at this point here because we do have these lower highs to get over, which is crucial, as I was just stressing about in the short term there. So yeah, let me jump to the RSI quickly in terms of Bitcoin for the midterm. As you can see here, we do have this downward sloping resistance point, which we've been heavily respecting in terms of buying power to the upside, right? In terms of buying power to the upside, right, for the RSI here, we've been heavily respecting it. And yeah, we've seen these correction points in terms of finding the resistance off this line, right? So as you can see, we have just done that again. We've just done that again, so that's an indication that the price is going to come down, and that's why I put in the bio that we could be coming down to, I think it was 34,500. Tap the lower side of this symmetrical triangle. Still setting these high lows continuously. Still good stuff in terms of an uptrend, right? Still very, very good stuff indeed. Before we see that insane reversal, if we do see that insane reversal, hopefully we don't. The absolute low point would be that 34,500 zone. And also that does correlate quite well with the monthly chart here. The monthly chart, as you can see, we have just opened a new month. We are now in June. We have just opened a new month here. But yeah, we do know at the start of some candles, right, we do see that basically wick to the downside. And as you can see, we're potentially going to see that wick to the downside for the start of the month, smash back up to the upside from there, and find a nice heavy level of support here on this 10 moving average that we've got coming through here. So it's definitely something to consider. God, this guy's really annoying. Lol, can you please check OGN and AK for me? Lol, obviously never had attention in his life. Yeah, he's just attention seeker, right? Iron Miss Platt. Yeah, come on, Richard, what are you doing? You're annoying everyone, bro. But yeah, so in terms of a bounce point for Bitcoin on the monthly here, we would be looking at that 34,500 mark. It does correlate with the symmetrical triangle playing to the downside as well. Yeah, definitely something to think about, guys, in terms of what's going to happen in terms of the price, right? In terms of a descending triangle we got coming down on the daily chart here, if you guys want to basically have a look at this yourself, we do have a descending triangle coming down here, right? In terms of a bounce point for the candle close point here, we would be looking at around this 34,500 mark. So if we are to see that down, we obviously now know we do have a lot of support there, crossing all the time frames there. So it's definitely something to think about in terms of a bounce point from there. I'm not saying long, but I'm saying like it's definitely something to think about, right? And definitely something to take into consideration when trading Bitcoin, right? When trading Bitcoin could be a potential swing, but yeah, definitely something to consider, right? That's basically Bitcoin summed up right now. Let me jump to Chester. Can you block him? Potentially. Let me see here. Hide user on this channel. There you go. Mrs. Hamilton has them roofed. Yeah, I think I've hidden it. I might have hidden it for me, but might have been hidden. Yeah, I think it's gone, right? Let me know if you guys can still see it, right? But yeah, so I'm just gonna have some more water. Yeah, as I said, my wisdom teeth are coming through, and it's absolutely killing me, right? Absolutely killing me. But yeah, let me have a little look. I've got to scroll so far up. Doing it on like 20 accounts. God, that's well annoying. But yeah, guys, if you're liking the stream here, smash that thumbs up button, turn that thumbs up blue, helps me out tremendously. Obviously, just reading this raid chat right now. Obviously, helps me out tremendously. I am a new YouTuber here, so I do need the help with them algorithms. And guys, I stream every single morning, Monday to Friday, 1 to 2 hours. Do a live TA on Bitcoin and then a live TA on any altcoins you guys request. I'm going to jump to XMR here, and that is for Kugan here. Kurukan? Something like that. Yep, sorry if I'm saying that wrong, bro. Always try my best here. But yeah, let me have a look. Cheers, Dan, for letting me know it's gone for you there, sir. As you can see here, Monero, very bullish on Monero and have been for quite a while here. I do think we are going to see that progression to the upside in terms of the long term. We do have this dominant level of support coming down in terms of a trend line here, in terms of the daily chart here. So it's pretty dominant indeed. So worst case scenario, I do see us coming down, finding a level of support before seeing that progression to the upside. And worst case, we do have this 200 moving average coming through here as well. So we are looking at a nice level of support there. But yeah, in terms of a target to get over the resistance point here, it would be looking to the top side of this symmetrical triangle down there. This descending triangle, ascending triangle you're coming through here. So we're looking at basically potential progression to the upside from there. If we can find that, ideal. We could be looking at a little measure move to the upside here, and that could basically bring us up to this horizontal level of support at 307 there. Ideal scenario for Monero would be that progression to the upside, finding the support on this horizontal resistance point currently at 283. That would be the sort of the daily target. I'd say 2-day targets, I reckon. If we can find that momentum to the upside there as well, right? Very, very cool stuff indeed. To the 4-hour. To the 4-hour for Monero here. Yeah, we're scurrying around. We did see this insane pump. We did see that insane correction, right? Not the worst stuff in the world. Obviously, we do have pretty dominant support line coming through here, but we are setting these high lows continuously, right? These high lows are being set continuously, respecting this zone. Ideal scenario for the short term, right? Well, for the midterm right now, I would be looking to get over this lower high point, which we just set here. That would be the ideal scenario if we can get a bounce off this support line, bounce from this 55, bounce from this 21 moving average, and then gain a nice level of support on this 55 moving average here, right? Man, this guy is so long. Yeah, just hitting his other account. Get a life, man. Come on. But yeah, so so this 21 moving average, we're ideally looking at that progression to the upside from there. And then obviously, if we can get a nice level of support on this 55, the next target would be this lower high point here around that 275. I can see us getting some resistance at this point indeed, at that 293, before seeing that progression up to the upside here at that 306, right? So short-term target would be to hold this support line here that we've got coming through here, and basically gain these moving averages that we've got coming through there. Very, very crucial indeed. But as you can see on the hourly time frame, we are currently testing the 55 and the 200, which are looking like they're pretty imminent to crossover, which we know that's a bit of a golden cross coming through there. So we are looking at the progression to the upside in terms of the price there, in terms of the short term, right? So yeah, looking not too bad. It's not too bad for Monero, in my opinion. Not too bad. Hold the line. Not too bad. We've got heavy respect at this point here. Even if we do come down and touch it, we can see the momentum to the upside continuously. So it's looking like once we even get down there, if we do get down there, and we are looking at the momentum to the upside from there. So yeah, next target would be this point here on the short term, right? Let me have a little look. Who was next? What a lonely life, Richard from NX. Yes, sir. What a lonely life. Let me have a little look. God, he's really ruined the really ruined the chat for me here. I'll do OGN there for Clued. OGN. Origin Protocol. Yeah. We have seen insane surges to the upside from this, and this is in my portfolio. Full disclosure, this is in my portfolio currently, right? I do think I'm pretty bullish on this. In terms of recovery, in terms of the price, we have seen pretty good stuff, right? We've seen pretty good stuff indeed in terms of that buying momentum. We have seen the retrace, of course, but that obviously comes with this insane amount of buying power to the upside. High lows continuously being set here. Not looking bad. It's not looking bad at all. And the lower highs that are being set, they're being challenged, right? They're being challenged on the daily every day, right? They're being challenged on the daily every day. So that shows we still have that buying momentum to the upside. And we're still setting those nice high lows, right? Obviously, we'd had a little fizzle out in the trend here, but then from there, it's nice high lows all the way up, challenging these lower high points here. Next challenge point would be coming in line with this 55 at that $1.28 there in terms of the daily target for yourself there. That would be the challenge for that in terms of the upwards momentum. That would be the challenge. But right now, we are testing the 21 moving average. If we are to find resistance off that in the next 14 hours and 36 minutes there, I would be looking at a bounce point on this 200 moving average there around that 94 cents there. I mean, that's quite a long way away. But as you can see, it is the daily, so it's not going to be imminent, right? It's going to be over the next few days or something if we are going to see that reversal in the trend there. But we have just eradicated this lower high point here, so I can see us progressing up from there. But as you can see, when we did get to that point there, we did see that we are seeing that heavy resistance there, and that has created us to fall below and lose the support for 21 here on the daily, right? In terms of the 4 hourly right now, it's not looking so bad. The RSI is pretty central. Can't really get a gauge off that, but we do have a pretty dominant resistant downward sloping resistance line coming through here. So that's definitely something to consider in terms of if we can break that to the upside, we would be looking at that progression to the upside there. But as you can see, we have tested it. We have found that resistance, and we currently are still finding that resistance. I mean, short-term target right now would be to come down to this 21 moving average and then see that progression to the upside from there. But yeah, I would be looking at ideally closing a few candles at least above this downward sloping resistance line currently, and then we can talk about challenging the 200 moving average there. Then we can talk about challenging the 200 moving average. But in terms of as I said, the long term, it's not looking too bad at all. You just need to keep that progression to the upside, right? You need to keep that progression to the upside and start and get over that 21 moving average that we had coming through there on the daily chart there. We do have a level of support coming through here. Not bad, forming this pretty ugly symmetrical triangle. Pretty ugly symmetrical triangle in my opinion there. If we are looking at a break to the upside from that, I would be looking at some sort of measure move, potentially along the lines of this, right? We would be looking at literally something like this, obviously depending on where we're going to break along this trend line here. If we do break to the upside here, that would be very good indeed. And in terms of take profit points, I would be looking to take profit, take some of the profit at this 200 moving average if we are to get along there. But as you can see, it is kind of correlating with a potential entry there. So if we are looking at a really good entry there, in terms of holding that nice level of support there, I would be looking. Oh my God, what is going on here? So I was further up in the chat. Hide the shoes on this channel. Man, this guy right now. What's your favorite color, mate? Very good from Kane there. But yeah, in terms of a good entry there for OGN, I would be looking at potentially finding a nice level of support on this 200 before progressing to the upside. We're not going to move the measure move up, right? We're not going to move the measure move up because that's obviously always correlated perfectly on where we leave the symmetrical triangle in terms of hoping it's going to play out. So we would be doing a percent from that, from our entry at the 200 there, and we were looking at taking profit at these horizontal resistance points all the way up, and that is going to equate to an 18% trade if we can see that measure move play out, right? That's the ideal scenario. And guys, yes, if you are liking the stream, smash that thumbs up, helps me out tremendously. Obviously, I'm not liking these guys in the chat. I'm trying to block them as quickly as possible. But yeah, very, very annoying indeed. Very, very annoying indeed. Thanks a lot, I appreciate that. Not a problem at all, bro. Not a problem at all. But yeah, a potential long position to think about here. And obviously, we are going to have to challenge this lower high point coming through here in terms of that uptrend there. So yeah, we do need to challenge that. And I'm not going to say we're not going to find resistance here. We are going to find resistance here before progressing to the upside. Maybe consolidation before we come to the upside again. But ideal scenario, we do find consolidation and not that rejection, right? We don't want that rejection. We want that progression to the upside and not eradicating these higher low points that we're continuously setting, right? Very, very good stuff indeed. Very excited about this. Very, very, very excited. But yeah, short-term targets would be to clear the symmetrical triangle and look for that 200 moving average in terms of support, right? God, how many accounts has this dude got? There you go. You've been blocked again, mate. Sign into another account really quick so I can block you again. Right, where are we? Oh god, it's so annoying. Oh, we have a lot of people requesting ADA. I'm very bullish on ADA. I will jump onto that in a sec. So annoying with this guy spamming the chat, guys. I do apologise. Not on his behalf because he's an arse, but I do apologise that I can't get to all your requests because it's taken me ages to see them, right? Very annoying. So I'll do ADA, right? I'll do ADA. If I've missed one of your requests there, just bang it in the chat again. And I'm just going to try and block this guy as quickly as possible. So hopefully I will see it. I'm just going to keep my eyes on that chat like crazy now. Yeah, we'll jump to the daily for ADA right now. Not looking so bad. Not looking so bad. High lows being created continuously. We are currently challenging. Well, we did currently find a heavy level of resistance off this key point here, right? This key point here, as I discussed on a lot of the charts, this lower high point here, we do find that heavy resistance to the downside, right? And we didn't quite get there, right? We didn't quite get there to this horizontal resistance point here. But when we do get there, we are going to see that progression to the downside, I do believe, right? We are going to see that progression to the downside. Let's get him again. Hide this user. Yep, bang. Too quick for you there, Richard. Come at me, bro. Yeah, we are going to see that progression to the downside from this horizontal point. If we find support on it, then it's very, very good indeed. I must stress that. It is very, very, very good indeed if we find a level of support here, because that's eradicating that lower high, eradicating that bounce point from that insane crash there, and that is basically a sign that we are going to progress to the upside, right? Looks promising if you continue that. Yep, I'll jump on that as soon as possible. And guys, if you're liking the stream, smash that thumbs up. Helps me out tremendously. And guys, it does mean a lot to me getting that extra support on these YouTube algorithms, because it is pretty hard out there in terms of the crypto space on YouTube, right? So I do appreciate all your likes, all your support. Basically everything, guys. Appreciate you guys. Cheers. But yeah, in terms of ADA right now, in terms of the daily, right, I would be looking at... where were we on the daily there? I would be looking at getting over this insane level of resistance point here and finding support on that. That would be a daily target for me. Not obviously in the next 14 hours or so, but in the next week or so, I would be liking some consolidation period at least above this, finding that support so we can see that progression to the upside there. Very, very nice indeed. Worst case scenario, as I say for the daily, is we do see this rejection off this volume weighted ATR band that we got coming through here. This is a very, very thin pink one, right? Let me get rid of my moving average just so you guys can see that quickly. Yep, moving average is gone. Yeah, this volume weighted ATR been coming through here. And as you can see, we do primarily find support on it, right? We either find support on it or we find that resistance, right? So at this point in time, yeah, as you can see here, resistance being formed. So as you can see here, we're currently testing it, right? We're currently testing it right now. If we can find a nice little support, we are going to be looking at progression to the upside for ADA, which is going to be very juicy indeed. But it's crucial. It's a crucial point, this horizontal resistance point here, and we obviously have this volume weighted ATR been coming through. So yeah, at this point in time, I would be looking at some resistance to the downside. Let me bring up this moving average to see if we can get some points to pivot from there. As you can see on the daily here, we do have this 55 moving average coming through here. This 55 moving average coming to the downside here, and that's obviously the more dominant one out of the 21 and the price action channel coming in through here. So we will be looking at a potential bounce point from there before we see a reverse in the trend, and then another test of this key zone again. In terms of what's happening on the RSI right now, that's probably for different time frames, but we do have this downward sloping resistance line on the daily chart here. Let me jump to the 4 hour. I think it would be better on the 4 hour, right? Yeah, better on the 4 hour. And we do have this downward sloping resistance line to think about. So if we are going to see that progressionary momentum of buying power to the upside, right, we are going to see resistance off this point, right? We are going to see resistance off this point, and that does correlate. Oh, God, I missed him. Damn. I just used in the chat, right? Dude, just go away. So annoying. Mr. Chester, you can have them roofed. Please iron and grab search pink. I'm not doing pink for you, bro. Just out of the courtesy for you being rude, right? Not happening. Not happening, bro. Come back another day once you've chilled out a bit, man. You're annoying everyone. But yeah, as you can see here, we do have the downward sloping resistance line for ADA here. So if we are going to see a surge in the price to the upside here, that basically means it's another sign that we are going to see that resistance point here. We are going to see tens. You're always coming in for sheep, tens. Always coming in for sheep, bro. But yeah, we are going to see a lot of resistance from this point. That does correlate perfectly with this downward sloping resistance line on ADA here. Okay, so it's definitely something to consider in terms of watching that buying power to the upside, watching that resistance point there. And just seeing how we go. If we can break to the upside, even if we break to the upside in terms of the RSI on the 4 hourly here, we are going to see that that rejection in the price, right? That rejection in the price in terms of selling power, because we are going to be in that overbought sort of section, right? I'm only joking as well. No need to do shit. Yeah, I know, bro. You're cool. You're cool, man. In terms of the MACD right now, we are looking at nearly a bearish crossover coming through there. Nearly a bearish crossover coming through here. But as you can see, this uptrend is slowly, it's fizzling out. It's becoming more flaccid. Not very good stuff indeed. Because bullish on ADA, want that to go up, part of the portfolio and all that good stuff there. So yeah, in terms of bad news, the uptrend is fizzling out there. Yeah, Coinbase to hold coins. I don't trade on here. For me personally, I don't hold on Coinbase. I think the fees are too much. I'm a Binance man. I'm a Binance man. Happy man. But yeah, so we do have this uptrend coming through here. It is fizzling out annoyingly, which sucks. But we are going to have a bearish crossover pretty imminently. Good news. Good news. We do have pretty dominant trend line in terms of a support line coming through on the MACD here. So if we are going to see that bearish crossover, it would be looking like that we are going to basically not see a very big downtrend at all. And that's basically a sign that we are going to have a nice bounce off these major trend lines coming through here before we see that progression rate to the upside. But at the end of the day, we are going to be looking at a bounce from this from these major moving averages points here. So that is some sort of indication that we are going to bounce up and set higher lows as we have been doing continuously in terms of this trend, right? Very, very good stuff. Very bullish, looking very good indeed. But yeah, I can't stress enough from these lower high points that we do need to smash through if we are going to see that progression to the upside. So in terms of buying up at this point in time, it's pretty tricky, right? I do think we are going to get there, but I do like accumulating ADA, and I have been accumulating ADA, right? I'm not going to be opaque about that. I'm going to be transparent if that works in terms of saying that. But yeah, accumulation points for ADA would be when we dip down. Very bullish on ADA for the future in terms of Cardano Africa and stuff. So yeah, just if you want to do some research on that, go to YouTube, type in Cardano Africa and watch their YouTube video, and they're basically explaining all the stuff they're going to do in Africa, which is absolutely crazy stuff in terms of giving everyone identity and credit scores and mortgages and all that really good stuff in terms of helping economies thrive, right? And getting everyone in debt. I'm joking, but yeah, in terms of Cardano, it's going to really it's going to help them out a lot, right? But yeah, in terms of a crucial point, it would be this point here, and in terms of what was I saying? It was in terms of hodling, in terms of accumulation points. I would be waiting to get over this zone to accumulate anymore, because if we do even test it, say if we're accumulating now and we test this zone, we're likely to see that rejection as we've seen in this previous price action for ADA. So it's definitely something to consider. But as I said, on the short term right now, we are looking at a pretty fizzled out downtrend when we get there, hopefully, if we can find a nice level of support here. But I'm not saying that we are going to insanely bounce off this point. we could smash through it and set a lower low on the MACD there. So watch this point crucially when we do have that bearish crossover and we do have that we see that trend and the momentum to the downside, right? And guys, if you're liking the stream, smash that thumbs up, helps me out tremendously. And also I trade every single morning, Monday to Friday. Well, I trade every day, but I stream every single morning, Monday to Friday. So yeah, if you want to be doing this with me every single morning, smash that subscribe button, smash that notification bell. You're never gonna miss one of my uploads. I also do Bitcoin videos, emergency updates, all that good stuff there. I'm gonna do Luna for Shivansh. Yeah, I'll do it for you for Shivansh, as I've seen it a few times there. But yeah, guys, if you are liking the stream, smash that thumbs up, helps me out tremendously, right? Chester, would you break major triangle of 34,000 invalidated rally relief to 4 ties and beyond? I mean, to be honest, Luca there, I'll jump onto Luna in a second there for you. Let me get your name right. Shivansh. Hopefully that's right, bro. or female, who knows? Or them. We're in 2021 now. All that crazy stuff there. But yeah, so in terms of Bitcoin right now, this giant symmetrical triangle that we've got playing out, right? And this is for Luca. In terms of the giant symmetrical triangle we've got playing out now, right? If we are to lose this 34,500 zone here, as I said in the title of my video, if we are to lose this zone here, it's not looking good, right? It's not looking good because we would be losing this high-low point for Bitcoin as well, and that's an indication. We need to set these high-low points continuously up to basically have this trend continue to the upside, right? In terms of the long term, we do need to see these high-low points basically being set continuously and that progression to the upside to see an actual insane reversal in the trend, right? Looking something along the lines of that. Obviously, it's going to be stagnant all the way along, but to see that in terms of a reversal of the trend, in terms of penetrating back into that bull market, that's what we need to see. If we're seeing us break to the downside of the symmetrical triangle, it's not good. It's not good because then we start invalidating these high-low points. And if we invalidate these high-low points, that's basically an initiation we could be curling over again, invalidating more high-low points, and then we could be testing these horrible, horrible points of the low. And if we set a new lower low, then God knows where we're going to go. No, we got a bounce point here at this volume weighted ATR band. Didn't put my phone on silent. That's the first time. But yeah, so that's around that. Low point would be around that 31,686 zone in terms of a bounce point for Bitcoin. But yeah, as I said a minute ago, in terms of a measurement to the downside, if we are looking at some sort of price action like that, obviously speculation here, and obviously depending on where we're going to break along the symmetrical triangle, we would be looking at potential short position to the downside, right? Lowest point, as I said, is volume weighted ATR band coming through here, and we do have this horizontal level of support at around that 32 zone as well. So hopefully we don't get there because we want to see us progress to the upside and not take out these high lows here. That's the ideal scenario, but yeah, we just got to be calm. We've got to be calm and collected, right? But as I said, worst case scenario, we do get rid of this lower high and we do see that move to the downside. But yeah, brings me on to the short term there. The long term there. It would be basically meaning that we are going to come down and test the lower side of this this falling price channel that we got coming through here on the 4-hourly chart. If you guys want to check that out yourself, yeah, this lower point we would be looking at testing and bouncing from there. Hopefully, I don't think we're going to. Basically, I don't think we're going to lose this anytime soon. If we lose this anytime soon, then we're going to be looking at literally progression to the downside, looking just not irreversible, but just dreadful, right? It's like 22k. Like, we don't want to be seeing that for Bitcoin at all, right? At all. But yeah, so in terms of a bounce point right now, it would be for the long term, it would be at this volume weighted ATR band in terms of the bottom side of this falling price channel. But yeah, that's obviously all in the speculation that we do lose this this giant symmetrical triangle we're coming through here. Let me jump to Luna there for Shivash. Luna there for Shivash. As you can see here, let's jump to the daily quickly. I mean, it's not looking so bad. It's not looking so bad at all. We're setting these high lows continuously up. Ideal scenario, we do need to get rid of this lower high that we got here. In terms of price action, we would be looking at a horizontal resistance point at that $7.78 there. This is obviously in terms of the daily. We have seen this trend reversal low, which is good indeed, and we are setting those high lows continuously in this uptrend, which we're currently in, right? And that's obviously for the daily. Let's jump to the 4-hour quickly for you. As you can see here, we have got a dominant. Let me get rid of that downward sloping resistance line there. Let me get rid of that, and let me draw some fresh stuff. We've got one coming through here, and potentially one coming through here as we've seen this trend come to that reversal point. So I would be looking at potential for to break to the upside, find a nice level of support on this 21 moving average here. And then the next target, I'd say the next target for the next 12 hours or something along the lines of that, obviously not going to be this candle straight away. We're going to see probably a few candles riding along this 21 moving average here, and then hopefully a break to the upside. If we can find a nice level of support on this downward sloping resistance line here, that would be targets of around $6.45 there. So that's something definitely to look out for. And yeah, from there, the target would be to find a level of support on this 55 moving average here, because if I can show you quickly, we do find a heavy level of support usually on the 55 moving average coming through here. As you can see here, very nice indeed. Obviously that's that green moving average coming through here, so we do find a nice level of support on this green moving average coming through here. But yeah, if we can get there, it's not looking bad. Obviously we do have some spillage and some fake outs in a sense, but yeah, if we can get there, we do see that buying momentum to the upside, right? So yeah, if we can get there in terms of price action now, that would be ideal for us to contemplate that move to the upside. But as I said, we do have these lower highs to take out at that $7.82 mark in terms of long term. But in terms of good news, we do have these high highs being set, right? These high highs are being set in terms of this current swing that we've got coming through here. In terms of a potential trend line we've got coming through here, this is why we're kind of testing this sort of zone right now. We could be looking at something along the lines of that, or something more along the lines of that if we're going for more candle closes. So yeah, we're currently testing that sort of zone there. Ideally, if we break to the downside, it's not looking very good. I can see a target of coming down to this lower high low point at around that $5.65. But ideally, we want to hold this 21. We want to see that break to the upside. We want to see that reclamation. I think I made that word up time ago. But yeah, we want to see that reclaim of this 55 moving average coming through here, right? Very, very cool stuff indeed. Ideally, as I said, short-term target would be to get over this point. But if we do lose this point, I would expect to come down and have a bounce off this $5.68 zone there. In terms of the RSI right now, we are pretty stagnant, right? Pretty stagnant. Not a lot going on there. In terms of the MACD, right, we're near enough due a bearish crossover, but because as you can see, this trend here, this uptrend, it's flaccid, it's fizzling out. There's not a lot going on. But in order for that to continue, we're not out of the woods yet. It could continue. We haven't had that bearish crossover yet. So if we are to look for that to be continuing, as I said, we need that target for that break to the upside going through there, right? So yeah, definitely something to watch in terms of what's happening in terms of the price there for Luna. Yeah, what was next? Let me have a little look here. You guys are awesome. Subscribed. Cheers, bro. It means a lot. I stream every single morning, Monday to Friday, 1 to 2 hours. So yeah, if you guys want to jump on that, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and regardless if I'm not streaming, I'll always do some sort of a crypto update, whether it's an altcoin gem video, whether it's a BTC update, whether it's a potential long or short position for you guys to think about. Definitely just constantly creating content, right? Definitely creating content, really enjoy it. And so yeah, guys, I do appreciate all your guys' support there. Right, let me have a look here. Please TA on Luna. Yep, done TA. Got it right. Thanks, not a problem at all. Shivash, that's your targets there, sir, or ma'am, or them. I'm new to trading since the big girthy dump. Yeah, I think a lot of people got in. This is my kind of a thesis, right? On the old Bitcoin, right? We were in that progressionary phase for a long time. You can see this is just insane pumps to the upside. Very, very healthy indeed in terms of upwards potential. Around this consolidation point here, this is when a lot of new traders and retail people got in, because at these points, all the people who are already in and we're trading, we're at the point where we're making so much money. We're making so much goddamn money from these pumps and these insane trades coming off here. We're then talking about it. We're saying, look, I just made this, brilliant. And everyone's talking about Bitcoin in terms of you get a lot more news coverage and stuff like that. There's so many more fundamentals forming if we're seeing insane price action like this. And that's when a lot of people get in here because they say, I can make money. Naturally, for a human, they're like, I can make money. Let's go. I want to learn it. I want to get involved. Everyone got in, a lot of celebrities got in, a lot of people got in, right? Because they didn't know how volatile Bitcoin was and how crazy it can actually just fall off a cliff compared to trading other things, right? In terms of currencies, commodities, and stocks and stuff. But yeah, people don't know really the risks of crypto. When I was learning crypto, and I learned from my brother actually, but when I was learning crypto, I first got in and I was like, right, I'm going to invest X amount of money, and he was there like, right, if you say, imagine you're giving me that money and I burn that in front of you, how are you going to feel? I was like, well, and he was like, well, that's crypto, man. It can happen. Literally in a day, it can happen. So, and this is literally what happened, right? So a lot of people invested a lot of money here and they got absolutely slaughtered. Absolutely slaughtered. A lot of people lost confidence. And a lot of people sold at the bottom, right? A lot of people sold at the bottom. This does make me want to go onto the bull market barrier and show you what happened in terms of the last bull run, right? So a little brief on this bull market barrier here. This blue means we're in a bull market. As you can see here, started in this point here. This red means we're in a bear market. But right now, it's pretty undecided because we can have uncertain points right now. And this insane drop-off here, that was, oh, is this Richard guy back, for God's sake? Goodness me. What? Chester Suprosky, yes, Lethal Mind, what you saying, my guy? But yeah, so This is the bear market. If we do get into a bear market, obviously we are still uncertain at this point here. We don't know what's really going to happen. Dan, I'll get onto Sol for you in a sec, sir. There's an overdue for every coin. Click on it and then click 1 hour, 24-hour week, etc. Gives percentage or negative percentage. That's a cool name. Cloud Neo, see it. Yeah, I'll do Sol next for you. For Dan B there, OG out here. Recognize you from the start. But yeah, let me just jump onto this. When we were last in this bull market, right? Last in this bull market here, we saw us lose this bull market barrier. And this was like the initiation for the start. Oh, that's the wrong tool. This was like the initiation for the start of the bear market, right? But this is really interesting stuff, guys. Very, very interesting to think about in terms of what's happening now in terms of the price, right? You can see this low point that we set in terms of this downswing, right? This low point that we set. If we do percentage up to this point here, it's 94%. It's a 94% upswing when everyone was like, are we in a bear market now? 94%, they pumped the price, the whales pumped the price, 94%, right? Take that into account. At this point in time, we are literally, from the bottom point now, we're back up 23%. Imagine we're back up to 94%, right? And then they absolutely dump it off a cliff. And we know a lot more celebrities and a lot more retail people have got into trading and have got into trading crypto because a lot of people think they can get rich quick and all that stuff there. So imagine they got it up to this point. Think how many people are going to be bullish. Think how many people are going to be switching bullish and how much money is going to get chucked into the market again before potentially they dump it again. Definitely something to think about. Because if they repeat in history and there's 94% here, it would be really cheeky if they did exactly 94%. But yeah, definitely something to think about in terms of the price action for Bitcoin there. Oh man, this guy's long. Yeah, so yeah, definitely something to think about in terms of Bitcoin for the long term there. And just in general, right, they could retrace the price 94% and then absolutely dump off a cliff. That would be the ideal scenario for the whales there. Just trying to ban this guy as quick as possible. I guess it's teaching me that I need a mod. Need a mod with 20 people watching. God no. Yeah, jump onto Sol there for Dan B. Guys, if you're liking the stream there, smash that thumbs up. And apologies if I'm not as fast and my point might not be coming across in terms of my speech very well today. I've got all my wisdom teeth coming through at once, and I'm in agony, absolute agony. But I'm still here doing my stream for you guys. So yeah, smash that like button if you are enjoying yourself and you're having a good time, because it does help me out tremendously in terms of the YouTube algorithms, right? YouTube algorithms, it does help me out tremendously. As you can see, we do have the symmetrical triangle playing out here for Solana, baby. But yeah, we do have the symmetrical triangle here playing out. Very, very nice stuff indeed. If we are looking for progressionary break to the upside, we would be looking at something along the lines of this in terms of a measure move. In terms of a measure move up like this, obviously on predication of where we're going to break to the upside here in terms of this downward sloping resistance line of the top side of this symmetrical triangle coming through here. So yeah, in terms of a potential entry for that point, we would be looking at something around this point here. When we get over it and we find a nice level of support on it, we get in, we break it, we come down, we see it on the retest, and we see that we test we see what's happening in the market in terms of the price and stuff on the retest, and then oh man, this guy's back. No, he's not back. Time in hands. In terms of the retest, that's when we would be getting in. In terms of a percent for that trade, which we would be looking at, we would be looking at something along the lines of a 21% gain there. Very, very nice indeed. But with that being said, we do have a major moving average coming down us here, so we could potentially see some heavy resistance off this 200 there. So that's why I would be looking at taking around probably 50% of my profit around that point there, and then be going for the next 50% gain if we are to break and find a level of support on that 200 there. Obviously, that is on the predication that we do find support there. If we don't, and we see that retracement, and we see that insane validity to the downside, we could be looking at potentially closing our trade and managing our trade accordingly as the price is going, right? But in terms of targets right now for Solana, that's obviously just one trade in speculation. If we're looking at a potential short position, if we are going to lose it to the downside here, that is not good, because we will be losing these higher low points that we've got coming through here, which is not good at all. We've got these higher low points coming through here, and if we lose that, it's likely that we're going to see the progression to the downside or the test of this this level of support down at the $22.80 there. But yeah, crucial points would be these higher low points to basically hold and find that support from. So worst case scenario, I do see us coming down and bouncing inside this triangle here, because we do have two pretty correlated support points to think about there. So it's likely that we do ADA flu. I'll jump onto that in a sec, Clued, sorry. Yeah, hopefully we can find a nice level of support here if we do dump to the downside. If we don't dump to the downside and we do, if we dump to the downside and we do basically break this this insane level of support that we got coming through here, and we do see a lot of buying momentum here on this level of support here, so it's likely we are going to see that happen again. But yeah, if we don't, we are going to be looking at a potential short position, right? Potential short position, obviously depending on where we're going to break here, and that does kind of correlate perfectly coming down to this volume weighted ATR band coming through here. And if that is to happen, we are looking at potential percent for that trade of around 16% there. Very, very nice indeed. It says the long term for Solana. It says the blockchain and stuff. Very, very bullish indeed. Very, very bullish indeed. But obviously, Bitcoin is the sort of leader, and Bitcoin is actually going up. It is going up. It's looking like it's probably going to claim this 55, which is nice to see. It's nice to see it. Claim the 55, get some support, and get that progression to the upside, Bitcoin. That's what we want. That's what we want from you. Come on. But yeah, Solana, a couple of trade positions there to think about on the 4 hour there. Obviously, we do have these major moving averages coming through here. We did just lose the 55. In terms of the shorter term targets, if you're like staring at the charts right now, it would be to find a little support on this 200 moving average on the hourly chart here, and that is sat at around that $31.55 there, and obviously that does correlate as well with the 21 moving average coming down as well. So if you find a nice level of support here, I can see you coming up and testing this this top side of the symmetrical triangle that we've got on the bigger time frames there. That's the ideal scenario in terms of the short-term target. In terms of what's happening right now, in terms of the live price, in terms of the high low you've just set in terms of this candle for the last hour, it's not looking too bad. It's not looking too bad. You have set a high low, you haven't set a low in terms of the trend. So you are looking at that potential progression to the upside, finding a nice little support on this 55 moving average as well. So yes, sir. Very, very good indeed. Yeah, so yeah, that would be the target for Solana there. Solana. Let me have a look at ADA quick. It's Cloud9, bro. Just spelt the German way. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Cloud it is, bro. Where are we? ADA. I've got ADA on my watch list. I'm going to go for a little 2-minute break. Too much H2O in a minute once I've done a bit of ADA for you there. Cloud. I think it was Cloud, yeah. ADA has gone up, actually. It has gone up quite significantly. Very bullish on ADA. Very, very nice stuff indeed. In terms of what's happening in terms of price action right now, that's a mistake. In terms of price action right now, we do have to smash through these lower high points which we are currently forming. And we are basically forming an ascending triangle coming through here, right? We're ascending to the upside. We are looking at forming an ascending triangle, right? So that's good news. It's good news. Looks like we're going to pump to the upside. Very, very good indeed. If we can, ideally, break to the upside here, that's going to be really nice because we could be looking at potential measure move to the upside there. Looking something along the lines of this, right? And that basically means that we're going to come up to this price action, this volume weighted ATR band coming through here, and we could get a little test on that before seeing that retracement. I don't think we're going to get all the way up to this all-time high point from before. But yeah, ideally for ADA, we do want to find a lot of support and break these lower high points that we got coming through here. Very, very crucial indeed. If we can, very nice progression in the runnings. But as you can see here, in terms of previous price action from this point here, it's dirty. It's pretty dirty indeed, and we're just praying that we've got enough support down on this this support line coming up here to catch us and see that rebound to the upside. If we don't, not looking good indeed. We'll probably see some progression to the downside, probably challenging these high low points here. But at this point in time, ideal scenario, we need to hold these moving averages that we've got coming through here and see a nice healthy test. Nice healthy test of this horizontal resistance line, and obviously we are going to have some sort of grey area coming through here to get over. If we can get over that, very, very bullish indeed. But at this point in time, we are looking at a retracement in terms of the midterm there for ADA. Right, for ADA, that's going to be the midterm. But as you can see here, also we do have a downward sloping resistance line on the RSI to think about, because if we do get to that top side point there, we are going to see the resistance, right? We're nearly going to be overbought. We're going to see that resistance, and that's basically going to mean we're going to pull back, right? So that's another indication that we are going to pull back off this zone here. And we are going to see that resistance. Hopefully, the resistance doesn't all come together and throw us to the absolute floor because of bullish on ADA portfolio and all that stuff there. So yeah, hopefully we don't, and hopefully we hold our own. Good news though, in terms of the MACD, obviously you can't use this. It's not going to work every single time for the MACD here, but it's an indication that we could be doing something along the lines of this. If we do have a bearish crossover coming through here, once this uptrend has fizzled out, which it is fizzling out at this point in time, we are going to have that bearish crossover. We are going to have that downwards momentum, but we do have a potential level of support that could catch us. It could catch us here. Could catch us, and then we could swing to the upside in terms of a reverse in the trend there. So that's definitely something to think about, potentially bouncing off these major moving averages in terms of the live price action there for the midterm for ADA. But yeah, I'm going to jump to the toilet, guys. But yeah, I will be back pretty shortly indeed. Probably like a minute or so. But yeah, if you like the stream, smash that thumbs up. Helps me out tremendously. Minute Kendall, crazy cat. Oh yeah, proper scalping here, bro. But yeah, guys, if you're enjoying the stream, smash that thumbs up. Helps me out tremendously in terms of the YouTube algorithms and stuff. And also, guys, I stream every single day, Monday to Friday, 1 to 2 hours every single morning. I do emergency updates. I do altcoin updates. I do alt gem videos. I just continuously creating crypto content, right? Love it, absolutely love it indeed. So yeah, if you want to see more of that, never want to miss one of my uploads, smash the subscribe button, smash that notification bell, and you're never going to miss one. It's as simple as that. But yeah, guys, I'll be right back after the break.